Ooh.
Earphones. Awesome. All right, so once again, Hitman is available November 20th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And I do believe that the elusive target, it says it'll be available on November 13th. I don't know how that works when the game doesn't come out till the 20th. But anyway, pretty cool. So wanted to start off with that. Okay, moving on here. So, Sega Genesis is finally getting the HD console it deserves. Now, this is not a I don't know if it was last week or the week before we talked about how Sega wants to make like a proper classic console, kind of like what Nintendo did with the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, which are basically emulators and the shell, the classic shell. So this is the Super NT. This is made by a company called Mega SG, and this is $190, and it will actually allow you to play the original Mega Drive, aka Sega Genesis cartridges in HD. I thought it was kind of cool. It makes me wish I actually still had some Sega Genesis cartridges laying around. I know I don't. I know some guys like Enemy Down. He's a big collector of retro consoles. He's got pretty much every console out there, as well as a ton of games for it. So I thought that was pretty cool. That here, I'll show you a picture of it because my display cap's working now.
Wow.
So that's what it looks like there in the picture there. Pretty plain looking. It's got the slot there. It's got the Sega Saturn style controller with the 6 buttons. Which I always loved back in the day, especially playing like a Street Fighter type game with the actual 6 buttons and not having to use any of that.
Mash.
Yeah, exactly. I always hate having to use like the shoulder buttons for something like that. So anyway, so that's pretty cool. That will be $190. You can pre-order it off their site. And the release date is the... They don't have one. They just say sometime in 2019. Okay. All right. All right, Mars, you're gonna love this. So, West Virginia is ready for its Fallout 76 close-up. So, the state of West Virginia is actually really excited to be featured in Fallout 76. So much so that the state's tourism board announced this past last Thursday announced a partnership with Bethesda Softworks to promote it, which of course is set in the wild, wonderful 35th state. I mean, everyone's getting in on this. Governor Jim Justice had a joint statement about this. They are really, I couldn't find it. There was a video of the little Fallout bobblehead guy like by the state capitol that was kind of cool. It was only a few seconds. It wasn't really worth showing. But they're really excited for this. For anyone who doesn't know, there actually is a secret bunker under one of the hotels in West Virginia that actually wasn't big public knowledge outside of people that are really into that sort of thing. But actually, one of the developers talked about it, and as such, they're actually giving tours of this bunker in West Virginia, so you can actually tour this bunker now. For people that might not know, in the 50s, during the time of like the Cold War and the Red Scare and all that kind of stuff, the United States actually commissioned a lot of nuclear bunkers around the United States. There are probably 20 or so of them, at least on the East Coast, as well as tons of missile silos and stuff like that hidden in all sorts of inconspicuous places in case shit went down, so to speak. So I think it's kind of cool that West Virginia is going all in on this thing, teaming with Bethesda. I know you want to. I was waiting for you to just start humming West Virginia, Mars, when I was talking about this story here.
I controlled myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud and disappointed both at the same time. So there we go. So of course, there he is. I was like, Hugh. I'm talking about Fallout 76. Where's he at? So
where's Hugh Graham when you need him?
Exactly right. So and then once again, Fallout 76 drops on the 14th of November. And look for more. They'll probably release more videos and stuff like this as we get closer to it because, it's West Virginia. They're excited about this. They're prideful of their state. Thought that was pretty cool. So,
gotta know you love those country roads.
Take me home. All right. Diablo 3 is getting its own Nintendo Switch bundle. It is coming to GameStop November 2nd. It is, of course, it's the console. It's called the Eternal Collection Switch Bundle. It'll include a download code. You don't get the physical edition, which me personally, I like to have the actual like cartridge for Switch. I don't know about anyone else. I'm like,
me too.
like I have a I have a 128 gigabyte SD card. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hesitant to fill it up, right? Because I like to have the physical edition. So in this case, they would have the download code, so you would need that SD card. It comes with a Diablo-themed carrying case, as well as a console. The carrying case has got some fancy Diablo artwork on it, as well as a console. That will net you $359.99. So it's actually a pretty decent price. I mean, the Switch itself is $300. So in here, let's show you what it looks like right here. You can see it right here. It's got the fancy little console. It's got the carrying case. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a huge Diablo guy, but I mean, it's one of those things when it's handheld, when you're playing on the Switch, I'm a lot more likely to play it. So that's kind of cool. And that will come out the same day. Oh, look at this! The same day as the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch bundle. So I'm a lot more likely to remember that now because and I don't have a official story about this, but anyone who does want to get the bundle that comes with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the GameCube controller and the adapter, GameStop is currently taking pre-orders on those. It is $105.99. I might have to plop some money down on that because I know, when like into November, December gets here, you're not going to be able to find it. You're just not going to be able to. So, get them now while you can. And I think Amazon has some deals going there too. I think they were selling it as well. So, but yeah, anyway. Sorry guys, let me pop over the chat here. Big Cheese Balls in here. What's happening? There's a Wild Hugh Graham slot. What's happening? My man Edge Undead. Everyone in here hanging out. I love it. Okay, back to the stuff. All right, so Fortnite is doing in-game tournaments now. Actually, the first of these happened yesterday because Twitch Crew's very own Prismac participated in it. I think he had like 16 kills or something gross like that. I think I have 16 kills in my entire Fortnite career, but it's fine. So the way this is working, the in-game tournaments, they announced them. This article was a couple days ago, so this wasn't this afternoon, but they announced them at the time, and it's open to every single Fortnite player, regardless of the platform or control scheme you use. So I mean, we're talking. Here's looking at you, Jono. Even if you're rocking an iPad or a mobile device, you could enter this tournament if you wanted to. And the way they're doing them, they're kind of breaking them up. So the first one was the Alpha tournament, which was solos, and that was yesterday. Like I said, Prismac was in that. And it's actually running the 16th through the 21st, I guess. And so this is the first tournament. It takes place across those days there. And then the next tournament is a beta tournament, which is going to be duos. That's October 23rd through the 25th. Obviously, as you can tell, grab a fan. That's for duos. And then Friday Night Fortnite is October 19th through November 30th. Which is kind of a big gap, really. I mean, like these first two are like a few days, and it's like, bam, 30 days. And of course, this is for squads. And then they're doing the Salty Springs Cup, which is October 27th through the 31st. And that is basically, it says 1 week and 3 attempts to prove you're the saltiest that Salty Springs has to offer. I'm a salty Fortnite player. I will not be entering that. And then the last one we have here is a tomato. Can't confirm. The last one is a Tomato Temple Cup, which is duos. That's October 28th through November 1st. And the description for that one is Become Legends of the Tomato Temple Cup. So I think it's kind of interesting that Fortnite's starting to incorporate tournaments within the game. When I first read this article, I thought maybe they were going to like include like a way to make your own tournaments. You know what I mean? Like a bracket or something like that, which would be really exciting. But that's not the case. Maybe they're trying to lean that way, but it is kind of neat that they're doing their own in-game tournament, so to speak. So you Fortnite players, take note of that and enroll in that bad boy and test your skills out. So, all right. Fun. Yeah, have fun. I will not be entering because I suck. So, all right. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is about that weird PlayStation Network message bug that was crashing PlayStation 4s. Are either of you guys familiar with this story? Did you hear about this when it was going around? PlayStation. I know, but I thought, you've got a pair of ears. I didn't know if maybe you hadn't heard. Okay.
I'm definitely use them.
All right. Very good. Very good. Good answers. Got a couple of smart asses here. I love it. All right. So what this error was, so essentially, you would get this weird message, and for some reason, like depending on the characters that were in the message or something like that, it would essentially send your console into a crash loop that would actually brick your console. What Sony was telling people to do until they had an actual fix was to change your messaging mode to friends only, or just turn it off completely. Because by default it's set to anyone, and then you could get this message, you'd open it, and there goes your console. So, but it does look like Sony has issued a fix for it. There's no firm date update required for it. It's just a soft fix there. So no worries there. Any of you, I know we got a few PlayStation 4 streamers out there. Cooch and the Don among. I know Slot does a lot of stuff off the PlayStation 4. So they have fixed that. No worries. You don't have to just go and delete every single message you got from all your friends. I mean, unless you don't like your friends, and I guess you could do that anyway. So that's fixed. Good to know. Okay, this one's for you. This one's for you, Mars. So, the Discord store is now in beta and includes free games for Nitro users. So for all you people that like to spam those brain hemisphere splitting emotes all the time, like Mars does, you can actually wow. So you can actually, and it's kind of cool because and I don't see the screen very often because I always leave my PC on and I always leave Discord open. But when I do update it, I do get there's like the home screen, you know what I mean? It has like the store. It actually tells you what people are streaming, but the store is on that page as well. So it is in beta, and it's open to all users. But like I said, the Nitro users, you can choose from a couple free games, and they're actually pretty decent games here. Celeste,
there are quite a few that I'm scrolling through right now.
Celeste, Frostpunk. Into the Breach, and Dead Cells. Dead Cells, I've heard a lot of good things about. It actually has some Twitch interaction with it. I know Harry Wizard was streaming that for a while, so that's pretty cool. And it's very interesting how like all these different
There's
all these
Tycoon too.
nice. Seems like
There
everyone's.
is- Do you
Yeah, go
have the
ahead.
price difference on there though? Because there is a $10 version of the Nitro, and then the usual $5 a month. Nitro.
Okay, it says here, Discord's the subscription service Nitro is also getting an upgrade, as a collection of games will now become free for Nitro. Blah 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 blah.
These are a lot
Okay,
of
yeah, it
indie
says
games
this
with
will
a
be
lot of really
included in the
good puzzle
$9.99
games, too.
monthly cost. So, I don't know if it will be included because I mean, there's like the $4.99 one, right? And then there's this one. So I didn't even know there were two different versions. So this looks like it's included with the $10 version of it. So I don't know which one you have, Mars. I don't know which tier you have. But you would need the $9.99 monthly version to get access to all the free games. So
I just paid for the year, to be honest.
okay, well,
It was easier. I don't have to worry about
it's
subscription.
easier.
It was cheaper that way. So
Oh,
No, yeah,
now
absolutely.
you're gonna get all of the emotes for a whole year, guys.
Yay! Look at this excited face. I'm excited.
I'm
All
just gonna spam you after this crew talk.
I know you're probably spamming me right now. I'm gonna come to a message. It's gonna make my face melt off. So.
You know what? I didn't think of that, but now.
And I think you might have said, Mars, Metro: The Last Dot Redux, Brutal Legend, and Psychonauts are some of the other games there. There's 60 games in all that are included with that Discord Nitro subscription. Disco. I like Disco. Disco Nitro.
There's
That's
actually
what
there's
we
a
should
lot
call
of really good puzzle games on there. Like FTL is on there. I
it.
think
I've heard good things about FTL.
Yeah, FTL is a really cool strategy game if you like strategy games. I mean, I like to play them on my own time, but there's a lot of cool streamers that stream these strategy games, and there's a lot of ways that you can actually get like viewer interaction from them.
Right on.
And I know there's a couple of games like Slay the Spire that actually I think you have to download something like an extension to the game, but you can actually have people respond in your chat to make the choices for you.
I like that.
That's pretty cool if you guys are like into puzzle games. But a lot of the ones that like get a lot of really good reviews are in the Discord Nitro free game.
Right
So.
on. I can dig it. Bet on Ken. What's happening, man? Thanks for joining the chat. Hello.
Ken.
Guten Tag. Okay. All right. So this is kind of interesting. So this is a game called The Stanley Parable. Have either one of you played it? I was going to say music. It sounds like something right up your alley. It is a puzzle game. Now, the game itself can be finished, quote unquote, in under 30 minutes. But it looks like there is an achievement that if you didn't play the game for 5 years and fire it up today, you actually get an achievement just for that.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Such
right.
a Stanley Parable thing.
I mean, it must be. I like it because I mean, looking at the comments and everything, this is something that everyone who's into the game is all about.
It's a
So
super cool game. Actually.
yeah. Launched
There's,
October
like,
17th, 2013.
so
What's
many
like? I
different
don't even know. I think it's funny because the achievement's called "Go Outside," and it says it literally requires a player to not touch the game for 5 years. Which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of
Pretty
like
funny.
if you like the game a lot, I mean, you probably have touched it in 5 years. You're just kind of SOL, but it's still pretty cool that someone that's like an achievement that I love those Easter eggs and those achievements that really like require a lot of time like that. Like you always hear like someone found like this thing after like I remember it was the first Batman Arkham Asylum. There's a villain called the Calendar Man, right? And if you go to because Arkham Asylum is like a prison for all the crazy Batman villains, and if you would go into his room, into his cell on a certain date, he would tell you to come back. And I think it was like 1 or 2 years or so. I can't remember the length of time, but if you would come back, you would actually get an achievement for going back in there. So I always just think stuff like that's cool. That rewards people that's willing to kind of peel back all those layers of the game, and kind of hunt those things down. So.
It does mock you for playing properly.
It does.
It mocks you everywhere.
If you guys are a fan of the Stanley Parable too, they also have another game called oh god, what's it called? The Beginner's Guide. It's a lot more of a serious game, but it's got the same. It's the same kind of premise though. But
That's cool.
I've heard people that either really like it or really don't like it, but play it. It's got a weird kind of topic.
It's a weird vibe. It's a weird. Like I played it all the way through. I enjoyed it, but it's
the
mechanics are very similar, but
kind
the
of makes you
story is
hate
very
him.
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
The narrator kind of makes you hate him. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think
That's
there's
cool.
a lot of layers to peel back just on that story alone. So,
Cool.
yeah. That's my 2 cents. Sorry.
That's more like 3 cents. I like it.
Thanks.
All right. So this guy, the top PlayStation holder, this guy gets 300 platinum trophies a week. Yeah. I don't think I have one platinum trophy. I'm not even going to lie to you. Anyway, this guy is Hakim Karim. He says of all the trophies this guy has earned, he said the hardest one he's ever had to earn was within Max Payne 3. It's a trophy that requires you to complete the game without dying one time. He said that's the trophy I'm most proud of because it required a lot of skill and dedication. I had to put all the skill and dedication I had to put into unlocking it. It took me about 20 hours to do with retries, of course. This guy's the ultimate tryhard. I salute him. It looks like, okay, he actually holds the Guinness Book World Record for platinum trophies with 1,691. And I should say this is on PlayStation 3.
Damn.
I didn't say that. So, but still, that's pretty damn.
That's insane.
Almost 1,700 platinum trophies. I want to know how many platinum trophies I have, because I'm pretty sure I've got like one, and it was probably some like BS trophy for like firing the game up the first time or something like that.
I think that guy needs to go outside achievement.
I think, yeah, right. And so he's even got he in this picture showing him with his Guinness Book World Records certificate plaque. I didn't even know Guinness Book of World Records was still a thing. I remember being a kid and like renting the book, and it was like this thick of like all the like Guinness Book of World Records, and like flipping through like, oh, look at all these weirdos. This is crazy. Like the lady with the long nails. Remember that? Like the nails that like, damn, that's creepy. She had like her nails were like 5 feet long, and he like went all the way down to the ground. They like curled around each other. It was really gross. It was really gross.
It's nasty.
It was super nasty. Super nasty. Okay, so I did have an article here, the 12 best Metroidvania games, but we're going to go ahead and skip that. And let's see here. Okay. Loot Crate. Everyone's familiar with Loot Crate. It's like a monthly service. You get a random box of goodies every single month. Sometimes they're themed or so. They are launching Loot Play, which is an indie game subscription service. You get 5 indie games each month for $10. So it's kind of like a version of Humble Bundle, I guess, when you really think about it.
To an extent.
Right. And it looks like it begins with Crossing Souls. And I thought I had a couple of other games here. I don't see any of them here now. But yeah, so it's like Humble Bundle, PlayStation Plus, and Xbox Live Gold, and EA Origin Access as well. So that's kind of cool. Indie games are fun, and they've really seen a resurgence with the Switch. The Switch has kind of become like a really big home of some really good indie games, which I love, because as awesome as it has to have like these big like AAA games like Call of Duty 4 and whatnot. It really is cool to that some of the indie developers get love too, because a lot of these games are literally made by one person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're pouring their time and their effort into getting it made. So I thought that's pretty cool. And $10
It's
is,
also a lot easier to play indie games like on the go like that than it is to play like a big title.
Exactly. Because usually indie games, the either have like a retro style graphics or like a simpler like a platform or like a top down or whatever. Which when you're on the go, as much as I love the Switch, the Joy-Cons are one of the worst control schemes ever for like actual hardcore gaming. It's much better for like a platformer or kind of like a pick up and play type deal. So
I need that Pro controller though.
Yeah, yes. I thought I lost my Pro controller and I freaked out until I realized it was in my laptop bag the entire time. I wasn't happy with myself.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, I started blaming children. It was really bad. It's like, who touched my Pro controller? I had to give out a lot of candy to fix that one. Where is she?
Playing Rocket League on them with the Joy-Cons is terrible. It is awful. I miss.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
I know you guys all play with controller, but I missed my keyboard. Let me just throw that out there. Make you all vomit, you Rocket League people.
Huggy Bear, what's happening, man? Thanks for joining. Who needs an outside? He has trophies, Mars trophies. Paladin, hey, what's happening, man? I didn't see you sneak in here. Rolled in here all Solid Snake style. All right, little Red Dead Redemption 2 news. Preload begins this Friday. Of course, it comes out October 26th. It looks like anyone who's preloaded the game for the digital store, you should be able to preload it starting Friday at midnight Eastern time, because once again, that's the only time zone that exists in my head canon. It looks like it's clocking in at around 90 gigabytes on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And it does look like it's going to be one of the very rare 2-disc console games, because anyone who doesn't know, this generation, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they use dual-layer Blu-ray discs, which is about 50 gigabytes worth of data. So, of course, with this clocking in at 90, obviously you can't fit that all in one disc. So that harkens me back to the Final Fantasy VII days. I think it was a 4-disc game on the PlayStation. I was trying to think of some other good dual multi-disc games. I think Metal Gear Solid. There we go. Might have been one. I can't remember though, actually. So yeah, this Friday starts your preload, and the PlayStation 4 version, as usual, it comes with 30 days of early access content that they get for those 30 days before it hits Xbox. Sony's been really good at locking that sort of stuff down. That's no big news there. So anyone who's getting that, myself included, I don't know. I kind of want to get the disc for it. I don't really know how much room I have on my PlayStation. I think I have like the 500 gigabytes, so I guess it should have enough room. But anyway, moving on. So, already talked about that. Well, let's talk a little Call of Duty Black Ops 4 here.
Blops.
Now, blops. Now, it looks like they did do a couple of updates here to the Duos player count. Originally, when the game was in beta, it was 88 players total. That was across all modes. So what they did, they adjusted it. So now Duos is up to... All right. So it started out, there was a maximum of 88 players in Duos and 100 players in Quads. So they've actually flipped that. So now there are 100 players in Duos and there's 88 players in Quads. So just a little... numbers fandangling. I think it runs really smooth either way. The matches I've played, I haven't had any issues playing Blops. It's super smooth, having a lot of fun playing it. So just doing some dubs. So just, and they'll probably keep tweaking that to make sure it runs smoothly network-wise and all that kind of stuff. And it does look like on the subject of playlists, Team Deathmatch playlist now supports 6-player parties, which they didn't do before.
Which is super cool, by the way.
Yeah, that is really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, that game is selling like hotcakes now. I can't wait to see what the numbers are going to be like on that. When the holiday season gets here, because it's only going to sell more, especially with Christmas coming up and Black Friday, all that good stuff. So, okay.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. All right. So I was going to talk about the best weapons in Black Ops 4, but I'm not. Just in summary,
Just
the Auger
kidding.
DMR. That's the best gun in the game.
Auger
Use it.
DMR OP.
Yep. Auger DMR OP. Use it. It's fun. I had it in a match today. Didn't even get to shoot anyone with it. I died. So
He did.
can't confirm.
Can't confirm. He's like, "Guys,
Mars-
you're not-"
Mars said they were behind her. He was at the barn. You lied to me. We all died.
I
It's
didn't
fine.
lie. I didn't.
You're
Hugh
just
said
wrong. There's a
behind.
difference.
It was Hugh.
Yeah, you know what? I liked it. Let's blame Hugh. I think it's
Yeah.
Hugh's fault.
It was Hugh's
I concur. All right. All right. Last couple of stories here. So the Festival of the Lost begins for Destiny 2. The Festival of the Lost is basically their version of like a Halloween type thing. So it'll feature a costume party, new bounties, a murder mystery to solve. That's kind of cool. Iron Banner comes back for a week. And so it looks like they start today. Today's the 16th. No, that was yesterday. Today's the 17th. It started yesterday and it concludes November 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's not a thing. 1 p.m. Eastern time. There we go. Okay. Now I see what you're talking about. So, yeah. The two big updates, it looks like... okay, never mind. Just kidding. I didn't say anything. All right. So, we're going to end here with the Battlefield 5 single-player trailer. This actually looks really cool. So, of course, it's doing a battle royale mode as well, but
Hello, Michael.
this isn't what this is
Do you
for.
remember Lauren
And this is the ad that you hear, so we're gonna skip that. There we go. Ouch.
It is in the moment of truth that we uncover who we really are. What sacrifices we can endure. What choices we can live with. Pushed beyond any known breaking point. We discover what we are capable of. And accept the truth of who we must become. Because survival is not a given. We must fight for it.
This is your fucking fault. This is war, son. Games play best on Xbox One.
Girl.
Get it.
Now that's interesting because that's and obviously everyone may or may not know. So obviously its biggest, the biggest competition is going to be a big battle between Battlefield 5 and Black Ops 4 this holiday season. They're both offering a version of a battle royale. They both have kind of like the more traditional multiplayer. Battlefield's been more known about squad play and vehicles and all that kind of stuff, destructible environments. But this is the one thing that Battlefield 5 is going to offer that Black Ops 4 doesn't offer, and that is a bona fide single-player story mode. So, and I mean, just judging from that trailer there, it looks like it's going to be really good. Looks like it's going to follow a lot of different perspectives. I don't know if I'm going to get it per se because I've got like a million other games to get this holiday season. But it will be interesting to kind of see them duke it out this holiday season and kind of see who comes out on top. My body is ready, says Pal. I love it.
Wasn't there a lot of controversy over the storyline being a female character?
Oh yeah, there always is because
Yeah.
this is the day and age we live in, and apparently, if you're not a white male protagonist, people are up in arms about it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, a lot of it follows a lot of the African American infantry units and whatnot in that storyline too, which I think is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be cool to not follow the traditional what you always see in every single other war game. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah. So, everyone has a battle royale right now, even Assassin's Creed Odyssey. What? Does it?
Wait,
Controversy
really?
was women soldiers in World War II. Yeah, correct you. I want to know more about this battle royale in Assassin's Creed. I didn't know that was a thing.
What do you just like? Do you all just like crouch around and just like stealth stab each other? Because that'd be really funny.
Well, I know. I remember.
Another word.
I,
That'd be really funny.
I do remember. I can't remember which Assassin's Creed it was, but the multiplayer was a lot of fun because it was like hide and go seek because it's like everyone was an assassin, but you would blend in with the crowd and you didn't know who was another player, and you would like try to sneak up on each other and like stab each other in the kidney.
Could you imagine cool. like leap of faithing and just like stabbing someone
right
at the ground? Like that'd be amazing.
It'd be pretty awesome. That is
awesome, yeah.
She's French Resistance. They were primarily women. Dope. I can dig it. So, anyway, that's all I got for gaming news. Thanks for hanging with me there, guys, as I stumbled through that. We're going to go to my lady Mars next. We're going to talk some Halloween spoopiness. Spoopy. Take it away, Mars.
Oh, my God. There's so many different types of scary movies, guys, that Eddie hates. They're all of them.
I don't hate. I don't have the constitution to watch them without screaming. There's a difference. I like them. I just suck at watching them.
So, chat and my lovely co-hosts. What is your favorite kind of scary movie?
Psychological? Yeah, I was gonna say psychological. So I don't get scared necessarily by zombie movies, but I love the zombie genre. Like it's one of my favorite things. Mars, as you know, I've been watching the Rec series.
Yes.
I guess is what you say it.
It's like recording. So
yeah, like it's short for recording. I Rec's easier. There's 4 of them. I blazed through 3 of them in about 12 hours, I guess. I'm really enjoying that. It's made by the same director as Veronica that we watched for movie night the other night. Very visceral. It's kind of got like a 28 Days Later feel to it, which is another one of my favorite movies.
Another really good movie. Yeah.
Yes, 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later are both very good. I love alternate takes on the whole zombie thing. That's what I love about the Rec series. Without giving too much away, it kind of ties in the whole Catholic Church and like a demonic possession thing. Of course, there's a whole 28 Days Later, which is basically it's just like human rabies, which I think is cool. The whole fast zombies thing really freaks me out. But I also like psychological type ones too. Like the Alien series is one of my favorite series because anything that has to deal with like body horror like really gets to me. You know, like The Fly or like Alien, like a alien bursting out of your rib cage, like literally gives me chest pains just thinking about it.
That's would cause anyone chest pain because it's ripping out of your rib cage.
Literally, literally.
So, just so everyone knows, Bet on Ken's favorite scary movie is Hocus Pocus, and that's the only thing that he classifies as a horror movie because
I love it.
It freaks him out. I'm sorry, Ken, I called you out. You can yell at me later. I love you.
We still love you.
So, all these different types of scary movies, obviously, like the whole zombie, the zombie genre in general has been done so many times by so many different people. Like the Train to Busan, Quarantine, 28 Days Later, what is it, 28 weeks later?
Yeah.
I always get confused between the days and the weeks. What is it? Like World War Z. There's just so many different takes on what like a zombie genre horror movie is. And you can have like the slow kind of staggering zombies like you would see in The Walking Dead versus zombies that are literally climbing up walls and super speedy, super buff like zombies that are just
OP zombies.
Yeah, so you can either have zombies that are literally walking dead people, or you can have zombies that are some kind of like infection outbreak kind of thing,
right?
Which everyone says I'm going to cause because I work with bacteria. So
Be a cool way to go. Be a cool way to go.
Yeah, but I'd be the don't talk about it.
Patient 0.
Incubating
currently.
The entire zombie genre is just. I'm not a big fan of zombie movies. I don't know why. I feel like even though all the zombies are always different, the storyline's always the same. This drawn out, let's survive, and someone dies, and everyone cries, and it's like, it's basically the same storyline every single time. Like, hey, we're a group of people that probably would hate each other otherwise, but let's go survive and make it to point B.
Right.
Halloween Town is a great movie series as well. Yes, but they're not scary. except for the cab driver when he goes all like angry. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the other kind of scary movie would be like possession type movies. So you have, you know, like The
Yes.
Exorcist, Exorcist
Yes.
Family Rose. A lot of people find these very, very scary because
I
they
do.
are something that's a bit more realistic to them. They kind of touch upon their religious beliefs. A lot of people, if they're super religious, they get kind of freaked out about that.
Mhm.
I know personally, like I had a friend growing up whose mom was super, super religious, superstitious. You know, I don't know what kind of like what ethnicity she was, but it was some kind of like, you know, Spanish or Central American kind of thing. They're very superstitious about ghosts.
Very Catholic.
Yeah,
Yeah, very, 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 very
Catholicism,
Catholic.
very
Very
big about that. Yep.
Yeah. So, and you know, especially movies like The Exorcist, which was, you know, said to be one of the scariest movies of all time. You know, exorcisms really freak people out. You know, bringing in the church, bringing in priests, bringing in all of these religious figures that you don't really think of otherwise. People find possession movies to be super, super scary. And again, personally for me, I feel like those movies are always not, the storylines are always different, but it's always the same premise of like, oh, this person gets possessed and then, you know, so on and so forth, exorcism, and then they're fine. And then it usually goes on to sequels and what have you.
So you don't like those either, is what you're saying. We're listing all the ones she doesn't like so far.
I'm gonna go through all of them. I'm gonna save the best for last, which we all agreed that we like. So I come to see what we're talking about is horror. Oh my gosh, I love The Exorcist, right, Lady Edge? I mean, all right, there is one scene in The Exorcist though that I cannot talk about right now.
I know what you're talking about. I know
you know what
I'm
I'm talking about, and it was
I know what you're talking about.
really, really funny.
Yes.
It was just like the rest of the movie was like, all right, this is kind of freaky. I'm sure it was freaky back in the day, and then like it just happened, and I'm just like, did I seriously just watch that? And
Now,
I'm sure
one of
anyone
the-
who's seen The Exorcist knows what I'm talking
The
about.
creepiest scene I think from The Exorcist is actually only it's I want to say it's either in the director's cut. I saw it was in the TV edit of it actually, which is really weird. It's in the book. Anyone who's read the book, it's not in most versions of The Exorcist, and it's when she comes down the stairs all spider-like. Like that creeps me the
anything
hell
that has like
out.
body contortions really
Yes,
freak people out.
yes. She
Anything
just
that's
comes down and you're
not-
like, oh god.
Yeah, because it's something that you would, a lot of people picture on themselves. They kind of take on that role of themselves, like, oh, what would be happening if this was me?
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing something that's like such an atypical thing, you know, like spider crawling downstairs or a spider crawling up a
Yes.
wall or you know
Yes.
something super
Or on the ceiling.
anything
Yeah.
spider-like at all.
Yes. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
seem to really just not be fans of you know, The Conjuring.
Love the
Very,
Conjuring.
very great set of movies. Had to do with possessions and you know are based off of you know
The Warrens.
the Warrens, yeah, like the real stories. And people again, like a lot of these stories that people tell in especially in movies, they always say it's based off of a true story. And whether the movie is you know to a T perfect, you know, just anyone hearing that a horror movie is based on a real story,
Oh yeah, that's
instantly freaks.
that's the
people
way
out.
to
It's
do it
like,
now, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
this actually happened
Right.
in some fashion somewhere to somebody who may or may not still be alive.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
like
it just-
like the
it just
Amityville
freaks people
Horror.
out.
I remember when the
Yeah.
Amityville Horror was really popular. The story of the Lutzes, which unfortunately has since been proven to be you know, kind of a hoax here and there. But I remember at the time when I was a kid, the original Amityville Horror, it terrified me. You know,
It
the
freaked
pig,
people out.
the freaking the red eyes outside the window. Oh God!
Yeah.
And you know, and watching it now, it's kind of dated now. It's not as scary. Although I wanted to see the version with Ryan Reynolds. I heard that's actually a pretty decent version of it. I haven't seen it. Yet another movie he managed to take a shirt off. But I have heard good things about it. But there's something about and Veronica was another one too, right? Like Veronica is based on a true
also
story.
a religious kind of possession movie again with a Ouija board. That
Stay away
you
from
know,
them, guys.
Don't
fuck with
touch,
Ouija
don't
boards.
touch them.
Don't-
Whether you
don't-
believe in this stuff or not, don't touch them.
If you
Why?
got a friend that
Why
asks you
gotta
want to
do
play the
that?
Ouija board, they're not really your friend. Find new
Yeah,
friends.
like if they ask you, just be like, no.
Yes. Grab your stuffed animal and say no. Yes.
Just be no. Yeah, just don't mess with them. Like I don't necessarily believe in them or like you know in one way or the other, but just like I know not to mess with them. So you know it's fine.
I risk it.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, a lot of possession movies freak people out because again, they're very relatable in some fashion because again, it's something that may or may not be able to happen to you, especially with all the ghost shows and stuff like Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans. Called out that guy. Another type of scary movie is like your slasher films.
Yes.
So you have Scream, you have Halloween, You have Saw. Anything that's like, oh, you have to run from this person because this person is trying to kill me. A lot of people don't like that because people are just freaked out about people breaking into their own homes. So, you know, I know I haven't seen the Halloween films and Eddie wants to kill me, but would you like to?
Triggered.
Either
Yeah,
of
you know,
would
and
like
it
to
was
touch upon the Halloween films.
Yeah, and you know, and Halloween was the first slasher film. 1979, I believe, is when it came out. And the reason that was such a popular genre at the time because there was a lot of that was on the heels of Son of Sam, right? Son of Sam was a serial killer in New York who would he wouldn't go into people's house, but he would just kind of shoot you if you're walking down the street, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it really there was just kind of like this like paranoia thing that was going on in the 70s, along with a lot of high racial and social tensions and whatnot. And movies like Halloween, and then of course Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, they all kind of played on those fears. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, and I think, and for me, Friday the 13th took it to the next level because that was like, you don't want to go to sleep now, right? Because it's he's going to get you in your dreams sort of thing, you know? So it was, Halloween was good because it was like, you know, the whole suburbia thing where you think you're safe and then, you know, you've got the shape walking around. Kids are in masks, so he kind of blends in because it's Halloween. So at the time, it was really, it's kind of what the genre needed. And, you know, it's kind of been around ever since, even if it's not as popular as it used to be.
So slasher films, especially back in the day, were very scary. Like you said, there's a lot of paranoia. These movies usually focused on touching upon people's paranoia, touching a lot upon the maniacal side of people. Very, you know, nowadays we have a lot of these, you know, forensic psychologists that kind of get into the minds of these kind of people. They do a lot of digging, especially, you know, everyone, a classic person that everyone kind of knows is if you've watched Law and Order, like SVU, like BD Wong is a forensic psychologist. He'll go into the minds of these killers or, you know, about, you know, whatever they are. And basically just pick apart their brains. And we have a lot more of those today because a lot more of the people today want to understand these types of mindsets, where back then it was kind of like, why is this person doing this? Why are they coming here? Oh my God, is he going to find me? Is he going to kill me? You know, is he going to kill me walking down the street? Is he going to pull me from my car? You know, what have you?
Right.
So those types of slash films back then really were scary for people. And, you know, Friday the 13th, not Friday, the Nightmare on Elm Street, where you said like they made it you afraid to go to sleep, also touched not only on the slasher side, but the psychological side too, because it's picking on something that you do every day and making you question whether or not you should be doing it.
Yep.
So slasher films, also really great. Also not a fan. Moving on. There's another, like, it's like kind of like a subgenre. Basically like found footage films. So like all these things are supposed to like, oh, these are true stories. These are, you know, based upon true stories. Like, you know, the Blair Witch Project is basically a you know, first person camera kind of view. Like this person's just walking around with the camera. It's either in, you know, night mode or biggest nightmare equals making Microsoft Edge your default web browser. You're not
very
wrong.
good, Hugh. Take a bow.
Definitely not wrong. You win there, sir. But like the Blair Witch Project, I think, oh God, what was it? Cloverfields? Was also a first person like camera movie. Even found footage films that aren't first person of, you know, was it? We were talking about it before, Eddie.
Wreck?
No. Well, that also, but the other one that we want to watch.
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. Yes, yes. Like night mode cameras, things that are up on people's wall. Even though again, that's also not so much a possession movie, but just a ghost movie in general. Paranormal, obviously.
Night mode is inherently scary. Like the way the light bounces off the inner part of your pupils and like it's just
the way the light bounces off people's eyes. The green alone. The green
can't really see too much. Yeah.
Not only that, the color green has been associated with horror for such a long time. You know, witches were always the color green. Even if you look at the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wizard of Oz, she was green.
She might
you know, like a lot of horror, a lot of scary things. You know, zombies were all like originally green. You know, because they were like sick. So the color green in general was always associated with horror. So even though you might not actually think of that, psychologically they're playing on you by using a color. Just like when they say for teachers, if you make your PowerPoint slides in yellow, it's supposed to be able to catch their attention more. So color, whether you actually think about it or not, actually has a huge play in how you perceive things. Just like, you know, red is supposed to, you know, comes off very angry, or, you know, even though it's a warm color, if you pair like reds with browns in your home, it's supposed to feel more warm than whether you do like blues and browns, which feels a bit more cold.
Right.
So color plays a huge play in a lot of things that you do day to day that you might not even think of. But green, especially in night mode for cameras on these films, really ties into horror because it's just always been associated with something scary.
Right.
Right. And we already talked about the zombie films, urban legend films. So
yes,
a lot of people don't really think about this. They kind of sometimes pair it with slasher films. It's usually just like, say you had a movie where like Bigfoot tried to kill you, that would be like an urban legend film, or the Loch Ness monster eating you from the ocean or something like that.
Candyman. I remember Candyman as a kid.
Candyman. Legends. Isn't there a series of urban legend movies though too? Like I remember seeing
I
one where like the
believe
dog
there
gets
is.
microwaved.
Wait. No, I was thinking of Final Destination.
There is a couple of movies that kind of play upon urban legends, but I don't think there was any microwave dog. And they were called there was VHS and VHS 2.
I was gonna talk about I was gonna say VHS was one. Yeah, was a series.
They both
No,
touched...
in '98 there was a film.
Okay.
It was called
I'm
Urban
the
Legends.
only one that ever saw it. Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Raleigh, the only one that ever saw it.
Well, add it to the list. But there is VHS and VHS 2 are two movies that definitely play upon urban legends. It's basically this person finds all of these lost tapes, watches them, and each tape is a different kind of legend story of its own. And what I find really cool is that kind of each movie has its own take on a different genre of horror, which I really like having all of those in one. I thought it was a very interesting take on how to do a horror movie.
Yeah. And I feel that's kind of seeing a resurgence too, because it's like creepypasta is kind of like the new urban legend type thing now, so they're
if you
Google Slender Man, like you'll see all these like creepy black and white photos of people like photoshopping like the Slender Man in the background.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's very creepy because it's creepy out on the nose just because the people in the photos always have like those weird looks on their face and like they're kind of like staring, and then you kind of like look at the photo for a while and you kind of notice like in the background. So yeah, it's kind of funny how stuff kind of comes full circle like that.
Absolutely. Then you have monster movies, like your typical vampire movies, not Twilight.
I was waiting for it.
Not Twilight, regular vampire movies like Dracula, Frankenstein, those types of movies that
the
classic
movie monsters,
basically your classic monster movies. A lot of people don't really do monster movies anymore. Even The Hills Have Eyes could be considered to be a monster movie because they took these people and made literal monsters out of them that chase you. Again, this atypical kind of life form that is going after you.
See, that freaks me out because like that's the Hills of the Eyes. Like for me, it's like the whole like you're traveling somewhere and you get like isolated. Let's say you stop for gas or you run out of gas or you just stop at this like backwoods ass place, and like that kind of really freaks me out because I've stopped for gases in places like either traveling to see relatives or whatever, and you're like, okay, let's get out of here like yesterday. Come on, let's go. I think I'll just hold it till the next stop. Okay, let's go. Bye. So
you even had an experience not too long ago.
Yes.
When you went
south.
Yeah.
Don't remind me of that, dude. I was in the back of my mind.
Jared Leto's in this.
Yeah, let's share it. So,
I definitely need to watch it.
I was headed to North Carolina to visit some relatives, and we stopped at the rest stop, and I go in the bathroom, and I was at the urinal, and I can like you can feel someone kind of like staring at you. This guy was like staring at me, and he just kept asking me like, "Can you see her?" And I was. At first, I did what every person does, and I just ignored him, right? But then he kept walking closer to me and kept asking, like, "Can you see her? I can see her." Long story short, I kind of tied it in a knot and got out of there, and it was super incredibly freaky. Like I was shaking for like the next day or two. Just the look in the guy's face. He was probably just trolling and wanted to like fuck with someone, to be honest with you. But it was one of those things. It's like I don't know. It was. Yeah, I don't like rest stops anymore. So
no, they're freaky.
I don't.
Other kinds of horror movies, alien life form movies.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is super skeptical about space, especially back in the day when they started sending things into space. With the space shuttles and just drones and everything that they send up there. Alien life form movies became super huge, super popular.
Well, the abduction too, right? Like the whole abduction aspect.
Yeah, the whole
of it.
abduction kind of aspect. I'm going to touch upon like what different fears they try to strike in these movies in a second. But just aliens in general, it's just like again, just like zombies, there's so many different takes that you could put on it. Like, could they look like us? Do they look like the aliens that are in Alien? Could they look like, the people that have like big eyes and,
Right.
ovally shaped V-headed chin and things,
Yep.
just like all these aliens. Because it's such an unknown thing, you can really do with it what you want to.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my favorite genre of horror movies, psychological horror movies. Movies that you basically watch it and you go, what the F did I just watch? Like, heck, what was that? Or things that make you question why you're breathing, or why should I go to sleep tonight? Or just movies that are like Oculus, like, should I look in this mirror?
Very good. Oculus is good.
Oculus, Shutter Island, Seven, the Boy. All of these movies are just like, they toy with you, they make you think, they literally just play with your brain the entire time, and usually have an ending that is very unexpected, and even if it is unexpected, for some reason still sticks with you long after the movie. That's why I like psychological horror movies, because it takes such an effort to make you think about it, not only during the movie but after the movie. And that's what I like also, just because I really like psychology. So like an Oculus, for example, like, it was jumping back and forth between past memories and current memories, and like, you didn't know what was real and you didn't know what was actually happening, and then the ending was just like, oh my god, did that actually just happen? Not to give any spoilers. Or like the Boy, it's the whole point of this movie is this girl goes in to watch this person's child, and this person basically says, you need to watch my son, and the son ends up being a doll. And she's just like, oh, okay. And then like all this freaky stuff happens. And again, the ending was super unexpected. And you're like, what just happened?
Right.
So, movies like that, again, just now we're going to touch upon like why all these different genres of movies are even scary. What kind of fears do they touch upon? Monster movies. No one likes to be chased. Slasher movies. No one likes to be chased.
Not unless it's Tuesday.
People are afraid of being hunted. A lot of people are afraid of death.
Yeah.
Psychological horror movies, again, picking upon different horrors. Like, some people are afraid of fire. So if it's a movie that like messes with fire and stuff and makes you like not want to look at fire because it makes you itchy, like, that's a psychological horror, because it's taking something that should be like a clown movie. Even clown movies, like, can be psychological, because they're taking like common everyday horrors and basically amplifying them.
Yep.
Like it was super messed with you, because this entire time, he's a clown, and then if you've never seen it before, this is not, get with the times.
It's 30 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it for you. Like, it ends up not being a clown, so you're like, what the F is that?
Right.
But typical fears being amplified like that. Fear of the unknown, zombie movies, alien movies. What are these things? Will it ever happen? What do these things look like? End of the world movies. How is the world going to end? Like 2012, are we going to die from a giant meteor hitting the earth? Or am I going to die from a giant tsunami? All these things, like all these little fears tie into why people find these movies so scary. Animals play a huge role in horror movies, especially alone, and just like ghost movies. Like, why is that dog barking? Why is that dog acting so uneasy? Like, I stayed in my friend's house for the weekend watching her dog on multiple occasions. And just recently did she just, divulge to me that she thinks there's a ghost in her house.
Oh, lovely.
And like, I'm that type of person that's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But like, then I watched her dog for another weekend and found her dog staring at a corner of the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when they stare at a corner or something.
Because like she like when I used to watch her old dog was like super old. Like, that thing could go through a freaking train wreck and still be sleeping. She just got a new puppy, and this puppy's barking at the corner of the house, and I'm like, okay,
please stop.
Deuces, dog. Like, let's go. It was just super freaky. But like, again, that fear of the unknown. Like, what is that dog barking about? Why is that dog so uneasy? And dogs are used a lot because dogs are super heightened sense to that, and that's just a bunch of animal science that I'm not getting into today. Yep.
Well, like even look at paper toss. Cats even, like the Egyptians believed cats were the guardians of the underworld, and that a lot of cultures believe that cats can protect you and they can sense certain things.
Absolutely.
Just last week, Now, granted, Archie is literally the biggest pussy ever, like literally and figuratively. But like his like tail got like super bushy one time, and he was like staring at the corner of our house, and I was like, "What is there?"
Hair all standing up and everything.
Yeah,
right?
like he like his tail was all bushed up, and like the hair was up on his back, and I went to go pet him. He's like, "No, I'm good. Don't touch me right now." And that freaked me out because I was like, "What is he seeing that I'm not seeing?"
Yeah, and like again, this dog that she just got, it was a Basset Hound puppy. Like it was just a puppy, staring at it's literally just staring at a corner. And this thing has like the attention span of a squirrel.
Right.
And the fact that it was so focused on this corner, again, the hair was all like in a straight line up its back, and again, like that's a high alert body response for a dog. So it's like, one, how the heck are you a puppy even focused on this corner? Like what the f? Like what? I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, it was just freaky. Anyway.
I have two movies I want to know if you've seen, Mars, because these both fall under the category of what you like, which are psychological thrillers. In the Mouth of Madness, you seen that one?
No.
Okay, Sam Neill, aka Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, and Jacob's Ladder. Have you seen Jacob's Ladder?
I have.
Okay, right.
I
think those are two really good psychological ones, because the thing about movies like that, it's like when you can't even question your own sanity. You know what I mean? Like the movies that make you feel like
Oculus, where you don't.
Right. I think that's terrifying because it's like, how does someone help you if they don't even believe that you're telling the truth, or they think you're a crazy person?
That movie messed me up. I watched Oculus like 3 times, and I'm just like, dude. Like every time I watch it, I'm like,
it's like
the original Sinister movie, like creepy children.
Yes.
People find children so creepy.
Yes.
Like they're just like, hi.
The Sinister, when he's in the attic going through the photo slide. Well, those things are creepy by themselves too. Those old school like
again.
That's
things. Another thing. Old school things that like we're not used to.
Right.
Are really freaky to people our age. We're like if my grandmother watched that movie, she'd be like, "Oh my god, look at that movie reel." And I'd be like,
yeah.
"No, don't look at the movie reel.
This is how ghosts happen.
This is how people die." But yeah, so those are just horror movies genres in general, and now we get on to the fun stuff.
Is it fun stuff?
Horror games.
Yeah.
What are you going to play this Halloweeny?
Games.
Or if you're Eddie, this is fine. What are we playing? What are we doing? Hello, help, hi, hello.
But we're not.
What are we gonna attempt to play and never finish?
Right.
As I call them. Yes.
So this one is a PS4 game, Until Dawn.
Mm.
These are the first 3 that a bunch of these are just like really popular horror games, but also things that you can play. Until Dawn for PS4 is a horror adventure choice-based game where everything you do matters and will affect what the story plays out later on. And basically is your typical, teenagers lost in the woods, mass stranger trying to kill you, scream, everyone dies. Well, I don't know if everyone dies, but I never played it, but you get the gist.
It's like 20 endings to that game too. It's pretty cool. 20 plus or something like that.
Well, that's the cool thing about story choice based games is, not only is it a very dynamic game, but it's scary because everything you do matters.
Yep.
And again, psychologically, you have to think 5 steps ahead. If I do this, how will it play out later down the line? So I love when things mess with you. I don't know why. I love how the human brain works and how people mess with the human brain. So it's just super cool to me when games.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Well done too. It's very cinematic. Very good. It's a beautiful game to watch. Even when someone's like innards are spilling out, you're like, oh, that looks very realistic. Look how glistening the viscera is.
Tati said everyone died in my game, and Hugh goes, how does a girl run around and the towel doesn't fall off? They have this thing called Gorilla Glue, and apparently horror movies just use all of it.
The only way to do it.
Then there is Alien Isolation.
Ah!
For PS4, Xbox, and PC. It is a game that Eddie's eyes literally bugged out of his
I'm never going to finish that game.
It is a stealth survival game that Eddie will never finish, apparently. And then basically, I'm just going to let Eddie explain this game.
Yeah, so it's...
in true Eddie fashion.
Yeah, it's obviously for anyone who's familiar with the Alien series of movies. Mars is not, she has not seen them. And I die a little bit inside every time I mention that. It's okay. I'll rectify it, guys. I will make her watch these movies.
Kind of film.
It's not a slasher though. It's very much a psychological.
Like
but the first one is very much a psychological thriller. It really is. It really is. And who's seen? Okay, what's up with this? You're fine. You're right. So, anyway. So it's based in that universe. You play Ellen Ripley's daughter. You're on a ship. The xenomorph, which is the alien, it hunts you. Now, the way the game works, as it's been explained to me, the alien AI, it's split into the head and the body AI, and the head always knows where you are at all times, but depending on the difficulty, the body, it has to be able to send signals to the body for it to be able to find you. So essentially, the AI can learn. So if you keep hiding under gurneys like Eddie was doing, the alien's gonna learn. It's gonna find you. So you've got to learn to mix up where you hide. You've got different things you can make, like noisemakers and flares and stuff to kind of distract the alien. You can't kill it, which is something that really messes with me. Like a game like Resident Evil 7 is a very terrifying game to me, but eventually that game got to a point where it became a Resident Evil game to me, which means you get lots of weapons, you get firepower, you can kill everything on screen, you're good to go, right? A game like Alien really messes with me psychologically. One, because growing up, the Alien movies, I loved them as a kid, but they terrified me. I won't tell you how old I was before I could finally watch all of them in their entirety. For one, and two, like, you can't kill it. It's like yesterday. Yes, yesterday. It's this menacing, it's like this unstoppable force that, like, you can't, it's like the movie Jaws, right? Like, it's this unstoppable force that you can't do anything about. You just have to try to do your best to avoid it and not die. And games like that really mess with me as I'm discovering.
Taking an everyday fear because people are afraid of sharks and amplifying it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, Alien Isolation again is a stealth survival game, and you're basically running from a xenomorph. So, and again, that is on PS4, Xbox, and PC. Another very popular game. Not so much as of lately, but as of this year was Doki Doki Literature Club. It's known to be a very big psychological horror because there's a lot of stuff in there that you wouldn't necessarily expect to happen. Because the beginning of the game, it basically looks like your typical everyday dating simulator, and then shit hits the fan. So to speak. So stuff happens, and everyone, like, it threw a lot of people off.
10 and 10 on Steam. Wow.
It's got very good reviews on Steam. It is available on PC and I believe Mac as well. And honestly, a lot of people say that they don't take the content warning lightly, because there is some pretty strong content behind the storyline.
So can I ask real quick, like, what kind of gameplay is it? Is it like a visual? This is like, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia now. It literally looks like a journal on a table. I'm like, how is that ever going to be scary? It's like a dating simulator
kind of thing. Okay. And I don't think it's so much like jump scary. I think it's more so storyline. Okay. And because, like, obviously, like, if you play a dating simulator game, like, basically, again, that's a very choice-based kind of game. What you do will affect how the story goes later on, how your interaction from one person goes to the next, yada yada. Again, psychologically, you have to pick all of the right choices to get the kind of outcome that you want.
Interesting.
And again, the storyline behind it is pretty strong. I don't think it's so much like people find it scary. I think it's psychologically just kind of disturbed them.
Okay, I gotcha.
Sometimes people find disturbing things just
like it took a turn.
Yeah, like it's unsettling, and it's not so much like it's scary. It's more so just like, again, like, what the heck did I just play?
Okay. And those can almost be worse because it's almost like when you're not expecting it, it sticks with you more because you're like,
yeah, absolutely.
I can feel that. Okay.
Again, psychological horror is, it's not so much what's happening now, it's how much you think about it afterwards. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, you mentioned this before. It's available on PS4, Xbox, the Switch, and PC. It is a heart-pounding survival horror game. And people say that the VR is very, very queasy if you are not used to very disgusting and,
everything's wet.
Basically, things that are gonna make it's a very wet game. It is. It's kind of it's kind of gross. There's a lot of stuff in that game that you're kind of just like, ew. But I mean, overall, it's got very good reviews on it. It's a pretty good game. The storyline is, kind of what you would expect from a Resident Evil game, but very popular this year and mainly last year, but this year as well.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's one of those games that as it's going down in price, a lot more people are picking it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
what
really
they would expect out of a Resident Evil game. Like, they don't want to pay the original price for it, but they will pay eventually.
Right. Well, I mean, what I enjoy about it so much is that like I was saying before, it gets to a point where it kind of does get into like standard Resident Evil fare. But the way that game starts, like when you're in the Baker house, it's got a very heavy Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe to it. It's like the Baker family is so effed up, and it's like it's good. It's good. I mean, it's one of those games like a lot of people have either seen it played or played it by now. But if by some chance you haven't, I would highly recommend checking it out.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Another series of games that people always found scary, no matter which one it is Amnesia. The entire Amnesia collection people find super, super terrifying. But more specifically in popularity, The Dark Descent, which is available on PS4, Xbox, and PC. You basically start off in a dark, creepy castle with no memory, and you're being chased by a mysterious shadow, and basically you have to survive. And I mean, it's not.
You can't kill. You
can't kill. It's just stealth. You gotta survive. And basically, you're just running around trying to figure out what the heck's going on. I haven't watched the game in its entirety. I know it's not very like super graphically inclined, but it's basically just, you're running away from something unknown.
Yeah, like you said, it plays on that fear of running. For one, you don't have your memory. Two, there's things hunting you, and you can't. You can't fight back. You have to basically run. There's a water monster that's like everybody's least favorite thing in there because you can't see it, but you can see it splashing through the water as it chases you.
Yeah.
And like it's just a creepy, like you get naked men like flying across your screen randomly.
That's just scary in itself. No one needs to see a random naked man. No one needs. It's not.
You can't be in the dark, or you go mad, insane, and more things happen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people are actually afraid of the dark. And not only being afraid of the dark, being alone in the dark.
In the dark, I think that's...
Well, that kind of, it sounds like it reminds me of Alien Isolation, because it's like you can't sit in any place too long, right? It's like the game makes you have to like get out of your comfort zone and like constantly move around. So like there's no...
It's also like Slenderman's the same way. You stand still too long, you turn around, he's like, boom, right there.
Right.
Hello.
Hello. Would you like a kiss?
Then, which is really something I didn't really touch upon about horror movies is gory horror movies. Things that have extreme gore, just like Saw has a lot of gore in it. But Outlast is actually known for being psychologically and very gory, gross, disgusting games.
I've seen I remember watching Edge Undead play, and I'm like, nope, whole big bag of nope.
Yeah, so the original Outlast game was kind of, very gruesome, very, just again, it was just very gross. And Outlast 2,
amp it up.
Yeah, they definitely made it worse. But not only is Outlast 2 scary in terms of like gore, but just there's like parts of the game where you have to run around like this old school trying to find your friend, and it's just it's creepy. It's creepy. Slenderman is just channel 3 on TV from 2003. Outlast is the scariest game I played yet. Outlast is pretty messed up. I'll give you that. But it's still really popular. People love playing Outlast.
Now, one game. Sorry, I'm just randomly interjecting here. This kind of ties into one of my all-time favorite horror movies and a game I never got a chance to play, but I wanted to. Sure. Have either one? And I'll ask the co-host here first. Have either one of you seen The Thing?
No.
Oh, no? Okay. One of my all-time favorite movies stars Kurt Russell. It takes place on a Antarctic research station, right? So already you got the isolation aspect of it, right? And essentially this alien creature infiltrates the post, and it can look like a human. So you've got a lot of mistrust, for one, right? No one knows who's who. There's a body horror aspect to it. It's fantastic. It's a John Carpenter film. It's a cult classic. I'm sure there's some people who have seen it here. And Kara Smack is just talking about. Oh God, see, I don't know. I saw a thing went into at a party. But they actually based a game on it, and this is a couple generations ago. This was probably. Well, I guess it was probably PlayStation 3. And the game actually got really good reviews because it played on a lot of those same things that made the movie so good. And add it to the list of movies I'm going to make Mars and Musi watch because it's a good one. It's a really good one. It's really good. It's a long, never-ending list. Yeah. But sorry, go ahead. That popped in my head.
In that regard. But yeah, so just, Outlast is super spooky. Give me a second, I need to pull this up on my phone because I ran out of paper space.
Save a tree.
So there's this new game coming out. I actually have the tab open somewhere on my PC because I'm a pleb. And maybe I don't have it open. No, I didn't. It's here. I'm actually gonna send this to you, Eddie, because I want you to play the trailer.
Perfect.
So I forgot to send it to you.
And I got your 8 million like seizing pandas, by the way. Thank you.
Seizing pandas.
Thank you so much for that.
So there's a new horror game coming out. It's called Unholy. It is actually expected to hit this next year in October. And its first trailer arrived
God.
recently. It is a horror and stealth game, and you're basically this character named Sadon, and you're looking for your abducted child in a place called the Last City. And apparently the Last City itself is supposed to be this super scary place that clearly you would never want to ever go to.
See, it's like it's like Call of Chuluthu, like Lovecraftian style. I love that. I love that. Okay, let's play this.
So let's play the teaser.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I saw you totally fire on the screen. When you pause.
Mother of God.
That's a whole lot of nope.
Mother of God. All right.
Lots of nope.
Holy guys.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah. That.
So
Yeah.
it does feel kind of a different take on it. An FPS kind of horror game, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to touch on that. Like I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft. Even if you can get away from like his weird like 1920, 1930 weird like racial things that tangents he goes off on sometime.
Yeah.
His actual horror itself is really good. Like Call of Chuluthu, and like anyone who knows, and I can never say the name right. Chuluthu is like this like Cthulhu. Thank you. He is like this eternal slumbering beast that's literally supposed to be like 100 miles tall, and he lives in the ocean. But most of the stories, he's just a background character. A lot of the stories deal with like the actual humans, like the cults and the people that like worship him. And there's all sorts of like the stories that are around. Like there's actually a game based on that story. I don't know if it's out yet. It's supposed to be coming out. But I mean, he's kind of like the grandfather of that kind of like body horror, weird psychological type of genre that Mars is so fond of. So
I love
and this game looks like it's right up that alley. So yikes.
Yeah. There might be not a lot of movies I've seen, but I've seen a lot of psychological horror movies, and that's probably why I'm so messed up inside. But it's fun. And to answer Hugh's question from before, what would the Human Centipede be considered? It would be considered a gore and psychological horror.
I've seen the first one, and I wish I didn't.
All right, so I saw the first one and the second one. I have not watched the third one though. The second one. All right. So the first one, because we have to talk about this for a second, because
we do.
Who doesn't talk about the Human Centipede? The first one, you basically are just being attacked by this crazy doctor guy because you get lost in the, your car breaks down with your friend and yada yada yada, and he basically does some messed up surgery on you. Again, taking a horror.
You've seen the memes. You've seen the memes.
Yeah, and not even that. Getting a regular horror that people have is getting attacked by somebody. So you're getting attacked by this doctor and being amplified because he's not only this person who's attacking you, but he's a doctor that he is basically altering your body to become a human centipede.
And it's almost scarier because it's like he takes the time to like put you to sleep and put you under and do it like a real doctor would. You know what I mean? And for some reason, it makes it almost more terrifying.
Doctor.
To me. Yeah. Like it's like violating that whole "thou shall not harm" doctor oath type thing that you're
The
that
Hippocratic
doctors. Yes.
Yeah,
thank
but
you.
it also adds in that touch of a god complex because he's not
Mm.
only messing with one person, he's messing with 3 people and basically altering them to be his new creation. Just like, creationists and like Frankenstein, he created that monster.
Yep. Yep.
And then in which is really messed up in the second one, this guy does it to like a bunch of people again, but not only does he's not doing it to be a creationist, he's doing it because he gets pleasure from it.
Yeah.
And I think the third one, someone tries to do it to a crap ton of prisoners.
Yeah.
But
This is like
I stopped after like midway through the second one because I'm like, no, I'm
like
not.
I get it.
The first one was fine in a horror film. Like I get it. I understand why it's a movie. Like, was it a great movie? I mean, for what it was a good movie, but like it's disgusting. And the second movie was just like, this should never have been created because now you're just messed up. And the third one was just like, now it's confirmed you're messed up.
Yeah, you're just building off. Long story short, be the first one in the Human Centipede. That's if you're gonna be in one, you want to be number one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's just
one and done. One and done. one head piece in a dream. Hugh, I'm no.
Jesus, Hugh.
No. There is another horror movie game coming out called Close to the Sun, which is going to be available on PC. It is a first-person horror game. It is heavily influenced by Tesla and has a very big BioShock influence on it.
That's cool.
I don't have super much to say about the game, but if you guys liked BioShock, apparently you will also really like Close to the Sun. This is where I ran out of paper space, and I didn't feel like wasting trees because America. Another PC game called Dead Matter. It is an open world zombie deep survival experience. It is first person, but also in third person. I believe it is also a shooting game. Yeah. So the release date on those 2 games that I just mentioned are still to be determined. The Blackout Club will be available on PC, PS4, and Xbox, and it is a co-op mystery game surrounding teenagers from a small town. And it is FPS, and its release is in 2019. And that's being developed by Question. The other 2 are Quantum Integrity and Storm and Teacup. Then there is Someday You'll Return, which is a PC game. And it is a story-driven psychological horror game. That's all it really said without going into too much detail. I will look up and see if I can find more information on these games. But this is also going to be released in 2019 and is being developed by CBE Software. And the last one I have is Dark Pictures, Man of Medan, and it is a game similar to the style and telling of Until Dawn. Is also a third-person game and is releasing in 2019, developed by Supermassive Games.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
Horror games, horror movies, horror everything. Happy Halloween.
I love Halloween.
Woo! I actually thought of a game that Eddie and I played with Rambo. So actually a multiplayer horror game, and it's kind of buggy, but it's one of the few
It's got promise.
multiplayer games. It has a lot of promise. It's called Desolate.
Yes.
And
yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's one of these that I might hear something, but the other people won't hear it or won't see it.
A lot of auditory and
super
visual
freaky.
things. Yeah, and it's very cool because like Musi said, it's like you'll be playing and then Musi will be like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "See what?" No, and then I'll be like, "Oh God, I saw it!" Like or like
wait,
you'll.
Is that clip where he just like screams out of nowhere?
Yes.
Because there's like a doll or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hilarious.
Or you'll hear things. You'll hear
That's
like a baby
funny.
crying and no one else will hear it. It's
Mhm.
very.
Somebody
It has a.
talking to you.
Because like
Again,
like a lot.
psychological horror.
Right, because like a lot of games, like when you play with other people, that takes a lot of the fear out of it, right? Because you've got a buddy, it's not as scary. But this game takes that concept and flips it on its head because you'll be playing with someone, but you'll feel isolated because you're the only one hearing and seeing this stuff. So, hopefully they'll keep. I think it's still technically in early access, right, Musi?
I think so.
But hopefully they'll. I mean, last time we played it, it was already a lot better, a lot smoother than the time we played it before. So, hopefully they'll keep updating it and. All that kind of stuff because it does show a lot of promise. So good one, Musi.
yeah.
I forgot about that one. That was good.
The one horror game that we mostly all play, and I haven't even mentioned, was Dead by Daylight. That
Yes. Yes.
I had it on my paper. I read it, and I was just like, nope.
We all know this one.
Everyone knows Dead by Daylight. If you don't know Dead by Daylight, it's a super fun co-op game. You and 3 of your friends can play Survive with Friends, or with 4 other friends, you can play Kill Your Friends, where 4 of you are the survivors and 1 of you is the killer, or you can just be the killer by yourself. Ken hates that game. Ken, you love that game. you love it. Me and Tati were amazing partners. We all lived.
It's funny because Mars, it's really hard to scare Mars, but let like the Wraith creep on her on the generator, she will scream.
Jump scares. No one wants to I have a bad history with people sneaking up on me. Okay, so like I don't like.
Fair enough. But it's like in a movie, it's like you've got one eye open because you're half asleep. But in this game,
not
it's
even that. In a movie, it's just like that guy's gonna jump out from around the corner. Okay, and the game. But like in this game, like I can't predict the movie because it's like if you're playing, it's like, oh, you might come from the left, but if Muse is playing, she might come from the right, and it's like,
yeah, and another one.
Game and Mars whiffs the ball. Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm not proud.
And Friday the 13th is fun too. It's not as popular as Dead by Daylight. Obviously, we touched on the history with it. It's they're not adding any new content to it because of the legal battle, but it's still a lot of fun. Romer?
I did throw my paper, and I was gonna look to see if I could find it. That maybe they worked all of that out.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome because they're similar games, but they're different because in Friday the 13th, you can actually talk to the other players in the match. And it's even cooler. Well. Yeah, and it's proximity based. So it's like if you'll be like in a cabin and you'll just hear someone's voice, you'll be like, hello, are you a killer or a survivor? And it's like you can kind of riff off each other. The community is actually really dedicated to the game. I've actually had some of the funniest gaming experiences I've had is playing that game because people really get into character. I had one guy, Muse, you remember this, he was literally like narrating everything he did because he was like the only person alive and he was terrified and it was like and he had like this kind of funny like lisp accent and it was absolutely hilarious because it was good. So I would love to see that game get a little bit more love. So if it could get out of legal hell, that'd be awesome because it only make a game like Dead by Daylight better. Competition is good for everyone. It's good for us as gamers, as consumers, all that kind of stuff.
I once had the killer. I had just locked myself into one of the cabins, and I hear this. Hey, let me in! There's a killer out here. Yeah, no, it was him.
It was a killer, right? And they're like, let's give it a try. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. It is. It's different enough from Dead by Daylight, but they are similar games. So I would honestly love.
Kashi Girl says that Sean has 13 days to appeal it. So I'm assuming that you're talking about Friday the 13th.
Well, okay, cool.
Oh, I've never played it.
No idea. You have it though, don't you?
I do have it. I just haven't played it. I got it after everyone got tired of it, so I was just like, okay.
Well, we'll play that when we're being lame at home, not going to TwitchCon. That'll be a good time to play it. So, which is actually going to be Musy's topic. But first, I'm sorry, Mars. Did you have anything else to add? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just.
Oh no, you just stole my transition. It's fine. Steal the show,
stole
Eddie.
it. It's my transition.
Fine, just go
I'm sorry.
for it.
I'm a monster.
You know what? No, it's fine. It's
fine. This is fine.
Now we just need flames coming up behind her.
Right. You need a flame backdrop. That'd be awesome. Like some
God,
cloth, like
hilarious.
like a little fan to make a move. So before we go to Musy with her, she's gonna talk about some TwitchCon stuff. We are going to watch our featured member video, which is the Cooch 4. And just give me a second. Let's get this started here. There you go. Oh, full screen would be nice, wouldn't it? It would. Hello? There it is. Very soothing starting off. Good job, Slot. It's very... I like the font, too. It's a good font.
Yay, Cooch.
Cooch!
Oh, shit, my legs are sticking out.
It's like laying on the hatch.
You're also moaning though, so he's probably seeing. I got 3 crows on me now. Jeez Almighty! Can you just die already, Brizzle? I know it's not your fault, but damn.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I'm dead. He's
He's
coming for you.
laughing because we see it.
Got it.
Those are the best escapes.
Did you get it? I did. It sucks because generator fixed. I got the generator up, but
Just coming to you.
yeah, I know.
Behind you.
Found her Hex too. It's right by you.
Can we take a moment to appreciate his stash? Absolutely.
Amazing stash. Those are the best. When the killer, you hide, you barely hide in the corner and the killer runs by you.
You got that clip?
Those are the best.
You're pretty good at that.
Awk.
Cops will never find me, eh?
by me somewhere. I just don't know where. Jeez almighty.
Why is there so many skill checks? Holy shit.
Cooch is amazing.
Another good hide there. I like it.
Phoenix, please tell me you were watching that. Please tell me you were watching that. Oh my gosh.
I get to see his mustache in person every day. It's nice. It's funny. It's great, Robin.
And once again, congrats to the Cooch 4, Twitch Crew's featured member of the week. Very
Way
cool
to be
guy.
awesome.
Also my co-host on 2 Minute in the Sports Show. Very cool, very laid-back guy. Great mustache, as we mentioned. And don't hold it against
10
him.
out of 10
He's
stash.
10 out of 10 stash. And don't hold him against him because he's a Michigan fan. He can't help this about himself. So
He's not even here to
hopefully,
defend himself.
I know.
right now.
That's why I said
Nope.
it. I did. Someone will let him know though, so it's fine. All right. So, without further ado, once again, Ms. Musey, she's gonna talk some
Everyone
Magic
knows
hands.
what's
It's like
coming.
it's like when you're healing someone in Dead by Daylight, or what's like to doing the magic hands. Doing the magic hands. Okay,
What
I'm
game
sorry.
was that? Oh, it was in Dust. Was that in Dustlit? It was in Dustlit. The
Yeah,
healing
when-
animation is like
Right.
magic hands.
We're like jazz
And
hands.
you
Come on,
have
jazz hands.
tactical
It's jazz
hold
hands.
down, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, just see, just like you're okay. You're okay.
Yep.
Now get back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They just smack you. They just smack you.
back Okay, but yeah, so TwitchCon's coming up. I think most everyone probably is aware of that.
Yeet.
TwitchCon.
It is next week, so woo,
This is fine.
TwitchCon.
it's fine. So yeah, it's October 26th through the 28th in San Jose. The official location is the San Jose. I can never say this. The McGurney. I have no idea how to say it. Convention Center.
Probably did better
on
than me.
San Carlos Street. McGurney. I don't even know. Talk about a state ID. Oh. Okay. I'll get to that in a second, Huggy. The con itself is, so it's the 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. all 3 days. Ticket prices right now, you can still get them. You can get the 3-day pass for $179, the Friday pass for $99, or Saturday or Sunday for $89. If you wait till the day of to purchase, it goes up by $10. That's assuming that they haven't sold out. I have not heard anything about them selling out, or anything like that. So they
Has
should
that happened
still be able
before?
to. No, not to my knowledge. It didn't last year, and last year was an increase of people. They had just almost 50,000 people last year attend.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's a lot of people.
How many
That's a
TwitchCons have you
ton.
been to, Muzi? Was
Just
last year
one,
your
just
first
last
year?
year's.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And that was in Long Beach last year. So they hold it in a different place in California every year.
Oh,
It's
I
returning
thought it
to
was
the
at the
Bay
same
Area
place.
this year.
Okay.
So it's been in. Last year was Long Beach. The year before that was San Diego. I can't remember the other.
What about us East Coasters? Like crap.
Well, the reason why,
Love.
right? The thing is though, and why they do it is because Twitch based out of California.
Yeah.
So they just
It's
kind of
just
stay
so
in their home
far.
state because they're bums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
But there
guess.
are 3 basic types of passes that you can get. I just realized I was gonna grab something. I don't know where is that. And so there's the community, the affiliate, and the partner. Devs can also get. There's the dev pass and the media pass. So I'm grabbing mine from last year. It's stuck on my thing here. And so the community badge, which is what I had last year because I didn't have my affiliate yet. By the time I bought my ticket, and then I never updated it to get the affiliate. Typical badge for any con. It's on a lanyard. But the community pass lets you into all the sessions, the expo hall. You get access to the meet and greets, the keynote address, the general party that they have. Assuming that you get it either the 3-day pass or the day of the party, which this year's Friday. You get a swag bag, and then of course in chat, you get your own little chat badge, which some of you probably have seen. It's this year's that little 18. I wonder if they have last year's. Let me take a quick peek. The affiliate, you get all that same stuff, but you also get early access on Friday morning, and a special affiliate item, which they have not announced what is yet. So
Fancy.
there's that.
Maybe it'd be a golden ticket or a bar of chocolate like in Willy Wonka.
There
maybe.
you go. Maybe.
This is like LLJK. We're almost there.
I liked last year's.
What was it last year?
Last year, right?
The fanny pack last year, yeah.
Nice.
That's
That
awesome.
was the swag bag. Is that
Oh my
last year's?
God.
There's last year's. I liked last year's better. I like the purple and blue. Anyway,
Are you typing in chat right now, Muse?
it should be showing up. It is for me.
There's just 3 dots.
Yeah.
Twice.
Okay.
That was easier because
I just didn't know if you were trying something. Okay.
No, I just wanted to show the chat badge.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The weird
I was
little
following
glitch
you,
with
but
the
I didn't
in
know
it.
if you were trying to like paste something and it wasn't going
No.
to. I'm shutting up now.
We're good. For those who are partner, they get everything that community gets. They get the early expo access on Friday morning. They also have a special partner party that they get to have all to themselves, which is a 21 plus party on Saturday. They have a special partner shop night on Thursday night, and they also get access to the partner lounge, which is kind of cool. Last year, that was in a spot that you could walk past and you could see all the partners like chilling and hanging out, doing their thing. Some of them were streaming, some of them were just gaming, some just hanging out. They also get a partner backpack this year. That's their special gift, which people are laughing about because of a bag policy change.
Yeah, we
But
talked
I will
about that.
talk
Like,
about that. Yeah,
That's pretty funny, actually.
we'll come back to that. So things that you can expect to see. If anybody hasn't already checked out the website, they actually have a really great website layout. It's just twitchcon.com, and they have the schedule and everything there listed, so that you can check out the schedule. It's hourly, so you can check out what's going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're there all 3 days, just one
Very
day,
cool.
whatever. The keynote will take place at 11 o'clock Friday morning, and they estimate that'll be about an hour. But you have sessions on things like understanding your value and pitching your story, developing indie games in the era of Twitch, come watch my stream and other things not to say, the professional streaming mindset, role-playing 101 with the household, did I just get hacked, how to protect yourself, how to stream VR, how to make your games playable and watchable on Twitch. So there's some dev stuff there, which is awesome, because that's something
cool.
to remember with TwitchCon. It's just not streamers, there's viewers, there's the streamers, there's devs, there's other companies and people floating around.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm really happy to see how to grow and navigate Twitch as a streamer of color.
very cool.
PC build off workshop, secret language of Twitch. This is just Friday, by the way.
Oh wow. Loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. What else do they got? They have mental health and streaming on Saturday, which I'm really happy to see that one as well. There's one about extensions, community meetups, tabletop streaming. There's one
Oh, nice.
That's a
on
big
that
one.
one.
That's a big one,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't think
This-
tabletop doesn't get enough credit.
There's not, and there's actually an entire section dedicated to tabletop, which I'll talk about briefly, which is cool. There's
Oh,
one
right
that
on.
they're actually, the title of this session is called "The Gayest Panel at TwitchCon 2, Still Very Gay."
Nice.
Hosting 101. There's going to be a top cook ramen battle in the Tiltify Charity Zone on Saturday.
Nice.
Ramen.
I would
Non-gaming
totally
content,
taste test that. Sorry.
right?
Yes. Give me all the ramen.
Making money without selling out, family life, balancing streaming and parenting.
Super important topics, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ignore your
'cause
children. It's pretty easy. What?
There's best dad ever.
Oh my god.
There's so many awesome topics. The art of makeup on Twitch.
I need to see. That's what I need. That's what I'm.
It's
sad to miss.
fabulous.
I need to up my makeup game big time.
Making music, breaking down the IRL backpack, Twitch behind the scenes, tags, new categories, notifications, all those things that have been changing. They have an actual session on that so that you can read. Lights, cameras, and chatbots, things like that. How to stream more with a full-time
Wait,
job.
is it lights, camera, and chatbots like together?
Lights, cameras, AI, interactive chatbots.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So there's even D&D Beyond presents Dice Camera Action live in the Glitch Theater. It'll be a 2-hour presentation. They even have one for Warframe, which I guess is now 5 years old, and it's a free-to-play game. A lot of people
Is it
really
5
love
years
it.
old? Wow, I guess it is.
Apparently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is.
And there's another one about mental health. So that's really cool. So those are just the sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just the sessions. They have Eddie, you got
Documented.
Ouch.
As long as
Artist
Child
Alley.
Services doesn't see it.
Artist Alley, which is a really cool area. This year they have 80 artists that will be there in Artist Alley, and they actually have booths set up. You can see their work, you can talk to them. Some of them will be selling cards, posters, pins, whatever they make and sell. You can buy them from them and see them and get to know them. There was even this great wall last year of different pieces of work showcased,
Cool.
a little gallery type of deal. So
Can I
that's
ask you
really
a
cool.
question?
Yeah.
Are these artists streamers, or are this just
Mhm.
like people that do art for streamers?
No, these are art. Well, a lot of the artists on Twitch end up doing a little bit, but no, there's a ton of different streamer artists
That
that
is
are
awesome.
presenting or hanging out that you can meet and see
That's
their
cool.
stuff.
That's cool.
I took the guy's card. I don't know what happened to it from last year, but there was a dude. He does stuff with glass and does
Oh,
these
glass
etchings
blowing?
on glass. No, etchings.
Oh.
Oh, that's
wow.
cool.
And he was there working. Some of them are actually working on pieces there.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
So that was one of my favorite places last year to check out, and I'm excited to see it again. Talking too fast. Sorry. The meet and greets. They have 10 between the 3 days. There are 10 different meet and greet sessions over the weekend, and so you'll get to meet some of your favorite streamers. Like Friday, you could have the opportunity to meet Dr. Lupo, Amaranth. Let's see who else is there.
Oh, Amaranth. No.
Yeah, she'll be there.
Sure, we'll be able to
the-
see her from 20 feet away with her security entourage.
Hi,
Let me smell your hair.
Sequisha will be there, he's another person with an amazing stash. Lol Tyler 1, Gold Glove, Northern Lion, Ammunition. Saturday, Shroud will be having one. Tim the Tapman will be having one. Hi, Izzy. Macy J. Some big guys there. Gassy Mexican, Kirby Llama. This Saturday, who else? This is both days, guys. I wrote down all of them.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm not reading all of
Insane.
them. Soda Poppin' is on Saturday. Elspeth. I'm trying to think of names I see frequently that people will probably know. Sunday, Ninja, Grand Pooh Bear, Ezekiel the Third. I don't know if anybody knows Zeke. He's actually from my area, a couple hours north of me.
Cool.
Angry Pug, Co-Carnage. Who else on Sunday? There's a ton of them. I'm a Cutie Pie, Sacriel. There's a ton of meet and greets, and basically they have the booths lined up, and you just line up and go meet them, get your picture
Cool.
taken, whatever, and out you go. So that's a thing that you can expect to see. Like I mentioned, that they do have a party. If you have a 3-day pass or the Friday pass, you have access to the party. I didn't go last year. Last year they incorporated, since it was at Long Beach every year at Queen Mary does what they call Dark Harbor. And it's
LBC. Sorry. Channel
they
some
do, just because since it's Halloween, Dark Harbor, they set up different rides and a freaking scary maze thing to walk through and haunted house and all this. And there's a lot of people complaining last year because the line was way too long and a lot of people couldn't get in.
Ooh, exclusive.
So it was just too long and there was just not enough time to get in and enjoy it. Was the issue. This year they're adding GDQ Express. So for all the speedrunners that are going or people who enjoy GDQ,
Right on.
there'll
That's
be some of that
awesome.
going on.
Very cool.
James
I think
Dunn.
Takate's supposed to be going, so that's right up his alley.
He was. I don't know if he still
Is
is.
he
I
not?
know
Oh,
he had some
okay.
stuff come up.
I gotcha.
I would love it if he was still able to come. Love to meet you, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like all of
Um,
these panels that they're having and a lot of stuff that they're talking about are just like things that aren't normally talked about or normally shown. Like speedrunners, I feel like don't get enough. The art stuff, I feel like doesn't get enough. It's just there's so many cool things that people don't even realize are available to you on Twitch.
Right, right.
That you guys don't either don't explore or just don't even know that they exist.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
just
going to be
super
really
cool that they're
interesting.
showcasing all this.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting as Twitch continues to grow and diversify what next year's TwitchCon is going to be like, which I will be attending.
Yeah.
And hopefully me too.
You know, so not to cut you off, music, but yeah, it's very cool just to see like all the different types of panels and stuff they're going to have as it continues. Like I can see them having like a straight like a cooking show or something. You know, like.
Yeah, there's actually, I think there is a panel on cooking, something I saw on cooking that I thought was really cool, and I don't remember what it was.
Very cool.
It might be actually, no, it is. It's a session, it's a panel on cooking streams from professional chefs.
That's cool, because I know there's also a section of Twitch that does like workout stuff too, so I just like, that's super cool.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it,
right?
to be honest.
And then Galaxy Hound Store. I had a question for you. I believe it said, "Hello, is any of TwitchCon being streamed?"
I would imagine something like the keynote you'll find on the Twitch.tv Twitch page. Things like that. I don't know if all the sessions will be. And you may find some IRL streams of people running around the con.
Oh, there's got to be tons of those. I can't imagine what service is going to be like in there. Like,
so make sure you look amazing. Make sure that you're happy with your appearance. If you're one of those people that needs to always be like top notch, make sure you're walking around like this all the time.
Battery packs.
No,
because your phone's
like,
going to be just
hello,
killing battery.
Welcome to TwitchCon.
Right, exactly. I don't know the answer to that 100%. I haven't seen any specific details about that, so I don't have a perfect answer for you.
Amazing. Not a problem, Galaxy. Welcome to the stream, by the way.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh, hello.
They're doing the cosplay contest. So they've already
cosplay.
Keo. People have already that are participating. I believe have already all submitted their cosplays, and then the winner gets like a crap ton of money. I don't remember how much it is.
To be fair, though, a lot of those cosplay costumes cost a crap ton of money.
Oh, it does.
So,
cosplay, yeah, it's well, and here's the thing too, like there's awesome cosplay, but like the really, really big cosplay players, it's almost not fair because it's like they have some like special like studio or someone make their costume, and it's like at this point you're talking like movie like film
movie
quality
quality,
like costumes,
quality.
yeah.
Yeah, the prize pool's over $70,000 this year for the
Wow.
contest.
Which will probably almost pay off the insane costume that you put together. So that's good.
That's what I'm saying. It'll cost you one costume. Gonna cosplay as Eddie Knight.
Yes,
They
best
have
cosplay ever.
4 different
gold medal.
categories. It looks like they have armor, effects, needlework, and larger than life.
I feel
so
like
the
larger
finalists
than
are
life would try to be like cosplaying like a life-size diva costume or something.
It's
Right.
Orisa is one of them for this year from
Okay.
Overwatch. World of Warcraft Goblin Shredder, Khan
Okay.
Grimblood from Guild Wars 2, the Nightmares Cenarius from World of Warcraft, Legend Boss, Demigod, and
Armor.
Bahamut.
Montaigne.
Bahamut, Final Fantasy. I recognize that one.
It looks like a lot of World of Warcraft, which doesn't surprise me.
No, that entire story mode in well, not story mode, but that whole story that's been very hyped up for months now for World of Warcraft has been very, very popular this year.
Yep.
So it's kind of given World of Warcraft a big undertaking again for people
The
that
brand-
haven't played in a while.
Oh yeah. The grand prize is 15,000, and the category winners get 4,000. So
Holy how.
there
Wow.
you go. If you have ever wanted to be cosplay, check it out.
It reminded me. I meant to show this during my game portion, but when you're done, music, I actually found a cool cosplay gallery that before we get off, that I want to show off because it's always
That's cool.
Yeah, I dig that stuff. So continue, please.
I mentioned the partner lounge. So that's cool. The sessions, they actually have an esports stage, which is really cool. Last year there was an entire H1Z1 with a huge circle of PCs, and they had
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I still have the picture or not. It's probably blurry because my camera in the dark light did not do well. If I find it, I will post it in the Discord later.
Okay.
But they had an H1Z1 tournament, and the entire room was just H1Z1. Like they had the cop car, and they had like all this crazy stuff for H1Z1.
That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Right? H1Z1.
Yeah.
The game, right?
Speaking of game news that I heard, somebody bought the company or the rights to the games, and they're gonna put Just Survive and King of the Kill back into one game, like it was.
Oh, really?
Initially meant to be.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly.
Cool.
I heard.
Interesting.
Anyway, there was a PUBG tournament area that there were actually stacked booths
Mm-hmm.
of streamers, and that was, I think, sponsored by the HP Omen. They were really pushing that line of computers.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see those guys, and you get to see some of the bigger names competing in these competitions, which is really cool. The Loot Cave is the pop-up shop. That's where you can get your merch, guys. And they actually released today some of the what you can expect to see as merch for this year, and some of it is exclusive to TwitchCon.
So I'm giving Muse all of my money, and hopefully she'll spend it wisely.
Yes. I'm excited. One thing to keep in mind, if you do want merch, plan ahead. Expect to stand in line for a long time. Last year, I think it took us 2 hours to get through line.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
It was awful. And at that point, when you stand in line with people that long, like you get to know them. And like this kid was by himself, and he was with us the entire time. And she cut off right behind me, and I turned and looked at him, and she was like, "Oh, is he with you?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That's awesome.
So we got him in too. But so
That's amazing.
plan time, because you wait 2 hours and then you do your shopping in 5 minutes and you're done.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it always happens, right?
Right, it does. They have some really cool designs. I don't know if some of you have seen the new kind of that retro wavy color scheme that they've got going on with some of their merch already. They've got more of that going on. So there's some really cool stuff. I wasn't initially gonna do the merch, but I might because there's one hoodie that I just think is really cool. Anyway,
Is it
they have
the rainbowy kind of one that I'm looking at right now?
it has the glitch, and it's like purpley.
Oh yeah, that was
colored.
pretty cool. Yeah.
It's pretty. And I can post links to that as well, and then you can find a lot of this on the TwitchCon page itself.
That I'm totally not looking at right now.
They have a charity plaza this year, which Tiltify is going to be a big part of. And they have different events going on, and you can go there to learn how to do more charity raising on your streams and stuff. And probably talk to, I know Able Gamers will have a booth in the charity zone. They also have one in the main expo hall. So you get to go, if that's something that interests any of you, you can go and meet and learn how they work and what to do. Of course, there's the expo hall itself. And this year, where's my number? You know, it don't make sense. They have over 140 exhibitors this year.
Wow.
So this will be like HP. You know, you'll see things there. You'll see different technology, different games. A lot of indie games will be presented there.
That's a great
G
place
Fuel?
for indie games.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is, because
Yep.
I mean, a lot of them they even give you a chance to play them. Too,
Oh, wow.
which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Cool.
G Fuel, I'm sure they're supposed to have a booth there, and they have. It's really awesome because they have all the different flavors lined up, and you can get little samples of it and see if you like it or what all. And I think you can even buy it from them too. There. Let's see. My list is long, and I lost my spot in it. They have this streamer program and a streamer zone. So the streamer program is kind of a Twitch area where you can go if you have a lot of questions about how to do different things. They can help you figure out how to fix things on your stream or how to do something on your stream. The streamer zone itself are little glass booths, and you get to watch people. You can see them live stream there. I'm not sure if that's something you have to sign up for or if it's like left for the bigger streamers, you know, to do, but you can kind of see them do their thing in real time, which is cool. They do have a tabletop area, which I mentioned. You can try, you know, there's different gaming tables, and there's lots of different, they just have it all set up so that you can see different things. And they have people playing some of the games right there, which is really cool. So if you're into tabletop games, that's really cool. This year they have an arcade, which I'm really excited to see what's about.
Nice.
It
Nice.
wasn't something they had last year, so I'm excited to see what they have involved with that.
I miss arcades.
Yay!
Right. We still have an
Yeah.
old one in New Jersey. It's like maybe 10 minutes from my house, and it has like literally all the old arcade.
Well,
games.
yeah, and
Old,
there,
like,
Nice.
Simpsons
there's-
arcade game, Mortal
there's-
Kombat. Like
yeah,
it's
they're
awesome.
seeing a resurgence because like the hot thing to do now is to have a bar with a arcade in it.
Yeah,
I know
that's a good
here
idea.
in Columbus, that's like we've got like 5 or 6 of them that are really cool, and of course they're all free to play.
Mhm.
You know, they've got little cup holders for your beer.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I love it because it's, you know, it's all those nostalgic feelings. Play some classic arcade games and
Yeah,
get drunk and yell at your
barcades
friends. So
in New York City. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
barcades, yeah. So
Speaking of bars, they have what they call Kappa Cabana,
Oh my god, that's amazing.
and it's a bar for those 21 and over.
Excellent.
Responsibly.
Yes,
yes,
of course.
yes.
But that's a cool thing. And then of course Thursday's the dev day, so all the developers get to do their thing a day early. Something I forgot to mention with the Loot Cave with the merch, if you have Twitch Prime and you go to the Prime booth, you can have them verify your membership for the Twitch Prime, and they'll give you $10 that you can use for merch.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome.
$10 off
That's
the
cool.
merch.
That's a
So-
cool little give back there.
Yeah,
It is. It's nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I like it.
So those are like the big main parts that you can expect. And again, you can see all of the schedule, everything on their website, twitchcon.com. If you're going and you don't, you know, you're not carrying your laptop around with you or whatever, they also have an app. If I can find it on my phone. I checked yesterday. It is live. Finally, it's just a TwitchCon app. And it has on it all of the different things,
Oh, that's
and it'll
cool.
tell
Oh,
you
cool.
what to do. As
Do you
well
have to have
as-
a ticket to TwitchCon to have access to that app?
No,
Okay.
I don't
I
believe
know
so. You just have to.
sign in or something.
Well, you do, but I don't think it verifies whether or not you have
Okay.
a ticket.
Okay.
But like they have maps as well,
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
you can
Mm.
figure out where the
Nice.
heck you're going.
Right.
Mhm.
Which
I
is
would
really
need that.
nice.
Big time.
They also have a game that they're doing this year called The Hunt. And I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work. I think it has to do with finding different places or different people and like
Scavenger
being able-
hunts.
mhm.
Mhm.
And there last year there was a way everybody got their own little QR code and you could scan. Everybody was scanning each other's
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's
QR
pretty cool.
code so that you could network. It was a
Yeah.
networking thing.
Nice.
I don't see it on here, but that doesn't mean it's not there. I just don't see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a cool feature too. So you can carry it around, and they will also, like the days of, if you have the app, they'll pop if they have any alerts or notifications for things that they've changed that they want you to know about. They'll do it like a push notification so that you get it.
Oh, nice.
So that's
Technology.
a nice feature. Yeah. My stupid thing. So
Oh, I see the Kappa Ross.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's awesome.
There's all the fun little pins that you
Badges.
can collect.
Pins.
I got 2 2016 Twitch Combat pins that even though I wasn't there.
Mhm.
But like AK Racing, they had a booth there last year. I don't know if they're there this year. But they actually had a big bag that you could pull out these little keychains from. And if you got pulled out a white one, you got like a t-shirt type of thing.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So it's like a lot of cons. If you've been to a con before, very similar in lots to see, lots to do. So my number one tip overall, and you heard me mention it probably a couple times, is time. Plan ahead. Give yourself plenty of time, especially if
Yeah.
you want to try to hit up everything, because it ends up being kind of a line waiting simulator at times. You go to get your badge and you got to wait to get in.
Mhm.
Then if you want to go to merch, there's a line there, and so
Lines.
just give yourself plenty of time.
I need a designated merch buyer for Mars.
We can talk. We'll talk.
Yes.
I did it last year for someone. I can do it again.
Awesome.
You're the best.
So, for first time people I know Huggy asked me this question about tips for a first-time flyer, so a first-time traveler, period. Again, give yourself plenty of time. Plan ahead things that you need. So if you are flying, make sure you are there no later than 2 hours beforehand.
Yep.
A lot
Just
of times
for
that ends up.
security.
Yep, security may be killer, especially if you're going through one of the bigger international.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're going through one of the bigger airports, don't be scared to allow yourself 3 because
Yep.
you'll be surprised how.
Or
Yeah.
it may also
Choose
be worth
minimum.
looking into TSA pre-checking.
Yes. Yep.
That also helps sometimes.
And another thing too, if you're sorry, Mies, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
If
you're
you're, because for someone
all
who's flown the
frequent
first
flyers.
time, if you've flown the first time, keep in mind that most flights board 45 minutes early. So allow that window to get there because you might be like, oh, well, okay, well the flight doesn't leave till 10:30. It's 9:30. I'm good. No, they board 30 to 45 minutes
You'll be
early.
surprised
So-
how quickly that time slot comes up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll get
I don't
on
know how
quick.
many times I was stupid and like layovers. I'm like, oh, I got an hour. I got plenty of time.
God, I hate layovers.
And then but you don't have enough time because it takes you 15 to 20 minutes just to get off the dang plane, and then you got to go clear across the airport.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
make
if
sure
you
you
have
give
only a
yourself time.
carry-on, you can usually run, but
Yes, and that's the another thing. If you don't want to have to deal with the hassle of checking luggage and you're good with carrying light, carry-ons is what I tend to do because it's quick and easy. Like Mara said, you have it with you. You can just
Right.
haul butt and go.
Yep.
especially if you're going to be bringing stuff like your laptop and stuff with you, like at least you know it's going to be on your person at all times.
Yes.
So
Because most airlines allow you a carry-on, and if you don't know what, some of them have different sizes slightly.
Right.
So check with the airline. You can find it online what the requirements for carry-on is. And then also one personal item, so like
Right. Like a laptop, bag, or something,
a purse, or
yeah, tote.
backpack.
Something. Yeah.
So that's it. If you want to check your luggage, there's usually extra fees incurred. Incurred, is that the word? That's not the word.
Sounds right.
Yes, it is.
I like it. We'll go with it.
they charge you.
They charge you money.
They charge you the ones.
And then afterwards, when you get to your location, you have to find your baggage claim, and wait for it to come out on the little thingy and make sure you grab it. Otherwise, you gotta wait for it to come around again.
Can I cut you off for just a second?
Yeah.
Huggy Bear, a carry-on is a smaller type of luggage-sized bag that you physically will, literally, you carry it onto the flight with you, and it actually will
Something
go
like
in the
this,
overhead bin that is above your seat.
It's usually something like this, right? Like this is my
Yeah,
laptop bag.
it's a super small bag or suitcase that you can usually fit a couple of things in there. So
Yep. And
Yep.
you can easily go, if you don't know for sure, if you can go to like your local, like Walmart, Target, any of like the big box stores.
yeah,
And if you go to the luggage department, you'll find ones that are carry-on approved that are typically, the correct average size. You'll be fine for carry-on.
Right. Right.
And so that's like my big tip for first-time flyers. Just give yourself enough time. Another big thing, people complain about TSA a lot of the time. Just remember that it's just as shitty for them as it is for you. You get to get away from it. They don't. They have to deal with how many people flying through.
Yeah.
So plan ahead, be looking ahead and seeing where the line is to stop, what they're expecting. Sometimes they're hollering instructions at you kind of ahead of the game about what to do. Take your laptop out if you have it with you. If you are taking a carry-on and you have your toiletries with you, you get a quart-sized bag that you can fill, and you can't have any fluid bottles any more than 3.4 ounces.
Also at Walmart they sell travel size stuff. So
Yeah, you can get like a whole kit. It'll have like the toothpaste, like bath wash or whatever, everything like in a contained little.
Yeah.
They make it easy. They
Yep.
make it easy.
and make
And
sure
if
you
you're-
have like your ticket out and you have your ID ready and all that stuff. Because
And if
makes everything so much
if
smoother.
you like to wear jewelry, just don't be my mom and wear all your bracelets and necklaces and everything and your rings, and you go there and you've got to take a million things off. The less you have on, okay, the one thing I usually always have to take off is my belt, right? Because the belt usually has the metal belt buckle on it, but like just make it easy. The less stuff you have to take off to go through a metal detector, the quicker it's going to be for you to get your shit and get moving, right? 'Cause,
Yep,
I mean,
have your jacket and everything
Yeah.
off already,
Right,
ready to
right.
go to put in the
Yeah.
bins.
get your shoes off, all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even have to take my shoes off when I went to Holland. To be honest, it was strange.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of walked through. I was like,
Fly naked.
okay.
They will kick you
Yes.
off. They won't even let you in the airplane. For
It is
that.
it's frowned upon in many establishments.
Yes.
Might be a Canadian thing. I don't know. I've never flown to Canada, so maybe,
No,
maybe they allow
Huggy.
that there.
So, Huggy, your flights, when you purchased your flights, it was for the whole thing. So, when you check into your next gate to get onto the next plane, if you have a connecting flight, you just, if you have your ticket, or you can do, like Delta, I know has an app. I'm sure American Airlines has an
Almost
app.
all the airlines have an app at this point. It's
As long as you have your boarding information ready to go, they'll just let you on the plane. You don't have to
I haven't used a paper
do
ticket in
anything.
I don't know how long. Yeah, it's just
I
use
do
the app.
sometimes, but if you have
And-
access to the app, it's nice.
Like what you said before, if you have a very short window for your layover, what sometimes you can do is you can actually tell the crew of the plane and they can call over to tell that someone is coming over to that flight.
To let
Yeah.
them know you're on your
Sometimes-
way.
Yeah, sometimes they'll let you, like, they will hold the flight for you if they know you're coming. But
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you have to take your sweet time. That means you literally get off the plane
still
and
have
you
to
run
hustle.
over there,
Yeah, you
Right.
still have to hustle.
which is
And-
usually better, again, if you have only that carry-on.
If you have any concerns too, a lot of the airports, especially the bigger ones, have maps online that you can check out. And you can find out, like if you're doing Delta to Delta or whatever, you're staying on the same airline, a lot of times their gates are right next to each other, which helps.
Yeah. Yep.
But if you have any concerns about a layout or whatever, you can find that stuff online
Yeah.
and get a view of that ahead of time.
Mhm.
I know that helps me. And the same thing for San Jose. If you've never been, get on Google Earth, check out what it looks like around the convention center, so you know if you're a visual person. It works really well for me. You know what to see and what's going on.
Right.
Huggy, you'll be fine. Don't stress, because honestly, a lot of the airline people can be really kind of grumpy. But the thing is, if you go to them and you're just really nice and polite and you're like, this is my first flight, I don't know where I'm going,
Yeah.
they will help you. They will point you in the right direction and send you on your way. So don't.
I mean, dude, yeah,
stress.
the 12-year-old kids fly by themselves all the time, and it's like there's people, they're helpful. I mean, it's you'll be perfectly fine. You will be fine. You'll get it. Air travel. I mean, like Musi said, the biggest thing is allowing yourself enough time. As long as you allow yourself enough time, you'll be fine. Sometimes things sometimes with layovers and things, there's some things that can happen that are out of your control, but 90%
Make
of the
sure
time,
you go to the
you'll be fine.
bathroom before you land if you have a layover. That is a short
Yes.
time period.
Yes.
Because you're
Yes.
probably not going to have time to go.
No, and and the thing is, if you say you give yourself 3 hours and you somehow manage to get through security and everything, and you have like an hour and a half left, use that time and get some snacks,
Mhm.
something that you can have on you, because sometimes you don't have enough time on a layover to grab food.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So just think ahead about what's going on. If you have time to do something, to like go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. If you have time to grab some food, grab some food. If you have
Think
time to just
smart.
sit and chill. Like just plan it out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Just don't take a nap.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Just don't nap.
You
Don't
might
nap.
miss.
If you got
And as an
earbuds, don't make
example-
sure the volume's too loud. Make sure I like to have one earbud out just so I can
Yeah.
hear if you've got to move
They
a
will
gate or
announce.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they will announce.
It'll be all right.
As
Well, that's
a
too
kind
tough,
of
yeah.
an example story. Last year, one of my flights got delayed due to a medical emergency, which screwed up my next layover.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I went to one of the airline. Oh, I forget what they're called.
Marshals? People?
No, the desk attendants for the airline.
Marshals.
I can't think of
People
anyway.
with guns.
They will. They were able to get me onto a later flight that's still connected in the same way, and still got me there. So instead of getting in Long Beach at like 4, I got in at like 10 or something like that. But they were still super helpful, and they helped get me onto the next flight so that I wasn't stranded. Traveling in pairs, I mean, you can. There's some things that I know I'm probably gonna go do by myself when I'm in San Jose. I'm not gonna lie, because there's some things outside of TwitchCon I want to check out that I don't think anybody else wants to see. And that's fine. But if it makes you feel better and you have somebody that's willing to hang out with you the whole time, go for it. There's no reason not to. Yeah, just plan out ahead. Look at what's in the area and what to do. The San Jose Convention Center actually has a great link to a lot of things in the area that you can check out in case you don't want to spend all your time at the con. not too far away, there's this really cool tech museum that I kind of want to check out. The Winchester House is in San Jose. I kind of want to check that out too.
Very cool.
Crazy ass house. There's also Japantown, guys, in San Jose.
Ooh.
So
I'm about to fly there
real
just to
ramen.
hang out with Muse. Just saying.
Right?
Get all the cool stuff.
I'll be on the
Taco
street.
trucks. So there are things that you can think about doing outside of the convention if you want to. Maybe you want to spend your entire time at the con, and that's perfectly fine. There's plenty of stuff to see and do, especially if you want to check out a lot of the panels, because a lot of those panels are at least an hour long. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to the panels if you're wanting to learn about that specific subject. Even if you are hanging out with buddies the entire time and you're the only one that wants to go see it. Don't let the ones that want to go to the arcade or the Kappa Cabana tell you, oh no, this will be more fun, when you really want to learn about tabletop gaming. If that's something that interests you, go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Honestly, if you guys are also worried about security at all, just make sure you have at least one person who you have like contact with. They don't have to be with you all the time, but make sure you have their number. Make sure you can call them. Honestly, like any people that are coming here, like especially like Muse is going, she's a mod. If you feel more comfortable with the mod having your phone number, you know, just if you're worried about going anywhere and feel the need to tell somebody, tell them. You're not going to annoy anybody. Obviously, the world sometimes is a super scary place, and we all hear the news. So don't be afraid to be like hey, I'm going over here, just letting you know, like I'll check in with you guys later. So at least someone knows where you are. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I see Huggy talking about Uber and stuff. Uber and Lyft are great ways to get around. It's cheaper than renting a car typically. And then you don't have to worry about finding a place to park.
True.
So Lyft and Uber is great to help you get to and from your hotel. I know some people, my hotel that I know a few of us are staying at is a little ways away. So it's not like last year it was like half an hour walk. It was super easy to get to. This one is a little bit further out. So I probably won't want to walk, but you can Lyft or Uber. They have a light rail system in San Jose, and there's a light rail stop at the convention center, guys. The 8-hour pass is $4.50.
Mm-hmm.
So take a look to see if that'll work for you, especially if you want to travel to other parts of the city. And it's also, I can't remember what the one-time pass is, but it's only like $2 or something. It's super cheap just for a one-time pass. So there's light rail. If you are taking your own vehicle and want to park at the con, that is a possible thing. Parking is available for $20 a day or $1 for 20 minutes. The $20 is the max.
$1 for 20
price.
minutes.
Yeah, right?
By the time you walk there and back to your car.
Right? That's why it's that.
The thing to keep in mind, too,
Sucker.
if you're thinking about that, is the fact that there could be 50,000 plus people, and that parking garage is probably going to be very full.
Yes.
So you might not be able to count on that for parking. So again, I would recommend either Lyft or Uber, light rail, good old-fashioned taxi. And check some hotels, especially if you're at a hotel that is one of the ones that TwitchCon worked to get blocks of rooms for. They may offer shuttle service to the convention center. Sometimes they will do that. They may not. It's worth asking. It's a quick question and a quick yes or no answer from the front desk clerk. So that's a good way to get to the convention center. Different ways to get there. Food. So the convention center obviously is a different one than what I remember last year, but I imagine it'll be very similar in that there are places within the convention center to get food for lunch, for snacks. If you get thirsty, you can get stuff. Last year they had this awesome line of food trucks outside that you could go to, and there was like a ramen truck, and there was like burgers and like everything you could think of lined up.
Truck?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
There's trucks
I
for
didn't get to try
everything
it.
now.
We missed it. We missed it and didn't get to try
everything.
it, unfortunately.
Oh no.
All the trucks.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I imagine if they can do that again, they will. The problem with that is you have to go outside for that, and to go outside, then you have to go through security to go back in. Something to keep in mind.
Right.
If you don't want
Which
to.
is fair though, because at least you know that the convention's taking at least extra measures to make you guys safe. So.
They are, and to kind of go off of that, to even get your badge, you need they say a government issued ID. So you need basically a photo ID to get your badge, so that you can even get in. So make sure you're carrying your ID with you when you go to the convention. This year, due to recent events that happened this year and just general safety stuff that's needed, backpacks are not allowed at the convention center. Their luggage, backpacks, it's all a big no-go. You can have a bag, it just can't be a backpack, and it can only be 12.5 by 17 by 6 at the largest. And they recommend making sure that you have it ready and easy to be searched if needed. They also recommend using a clear bag to help expedite that process. So you can easily get, and I have an example, a clear little stadium style bag that should be able to carry pretty much anything you'll need, your wallet, anything that you're wanting to take with you very easily. And it should help you get through security more quickly because they can see what's in there. They don't have to dig through and see if there's anything not allowed.
Right.
Get some cargo pants. No.
Yeah.
My boy,
You get to go through a nice little metal detector and stuff too. So again, things to think about. Now, things to think about taking with you to the con to include in your bag. If you are wanting to go to any of the panels and you want to take notes, make sure you have a notebook and like a pen or pencil with you. Have that ready to go. If you are wanting to network at all and you have business cards, make sure you have those with you. You can take snacks into the con, I believe. You cannot take a full water bottle. I think you can take an empty one and then fill it once you get inside, but you can't take liquid in from outside.
Security.
Yeah, it's to ensure that there's nothing in the bottle that shouldn't be in the bottle. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes and clothing, because you're going to be walking a lot and moving around a lot, so you don't want to be wearing stuff that you'll be uncomfortable in. The temperatures, the 10-day forecast type of deal is saying it should be in about the 70s during the day and mid-50s at night. So if that is a little chilly for you in the evening, think about bringing a jacket or a hoodie, something with you, depending, if you're from like Texas or Florida or something, that might be a little bit chilly for you. And then again, it might not be. Just things to think about for yourself. Make sure you do take things, if you're prone to headaches, make sure you take like Tylenol or something with you. That way you're not miserable while you're at the con. And if you have any other meds that you should have on you at all times, make sure you take them. That probably should be a kind of an unnecessary tip, but sometimes we're like, oh, I don't need it. No, take it with you.
Allergy medication.
Yep.
Allergy, you never know what people have or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Travel smart, people.
Another great thing to take is a power pack for your phone.
Yes, I was gonna say battery
or
pack.
5 of them, or
Yes.
10 of them, or just all of
Depending,
them.
if you have a good one that you can get several charges out of, if you have one, half a dozen of them that might charge half your phone, take a few of them with you.
That's a big
Learn how
thing.
to create a current through a potato and carry a potato around.
I mean, I've never been to TwitchCon, but as someone who does like a lot of tailgating and in areas where there's mass volumes of people, expect your battery to go very fast, either because service isn't going to be very well, so you're either going to be your phone's going to be searching a lot. I don't know if TwitchCon is going to have some sort of Wi-Fi. They might, but wait for it to be bogged the hell down.
Will.
Because everyone's going to be on it. So especially if you're going to be taking pictures or documenting or IRL streaming or whatever, definitely take a couple battery packs, because that's your battery is going to go very fast. It'll go really
Exactly.
fast.
And and especially if you're in a situation like Mars was saying, that you are kind of going around by yourself, but you're a little concerned about going somewhere by yourself, you want to make sure your phone's charged so you can let somebody know where you're going, so that if you're not back by a certain time, they know where to check in on. Yeah. So.
And if you think your phone may die, have a couple of phone numbers written down on a piece of paper. So if you do need to ask someone to borrow their phone, which honestly most people probably will not have a problem with if you're standing right there. Just be like, look, my phone died clearly because it's going to be expected. Just have a couple of phone numbers written down so that if you need to borrow someone else's phone or at least someone at the convention's phone, you can have someone to call at least to meet up with somewhere.
Exactly.
That's a good
Or
thing.
to even to get your Uber or your Lyft or whatever. Like.
Yep. Uber, Lyft, program some security phone numbers in there, like I get like the San Jose Police Department, stuff like that. If you're like super,
if you're worried about it,
if you're worried about it, that's things that you might want to just be proactive about having in your phone.
Exactly.
So you never know.
Exactly. So basically, the big takeaway: think ahead, give yourself time, especially with packing. I know a lot of us wait till like last minute to shove everything in the bag and go. But if you start kind of planning ahead, and even if you're not packing, but you have it ready to go to put in your bag, you're going to be miles ahead and you'll thank yourself later. Like yesterday, I went and got all new bottles, the travel size bottles, so that I don't have to worry about it next week in case I get busy and can't make it to the store.
Just be proactive about your packing.
Yep.
Think about that's a good tip no matter where you're going.
Yep.
Don't leave anything to the last minute.
For sure.
Make a list, write it down, check it twice. Santa Claus.
Exactly. Santa Claus. If you guys have any questions now, go ahead and put them in chat. I'm going to talk real briefly about our meetup. We're going to have a Twitch crew meetup during the con. So if you're not hanging out generally with Twitch crew peeps, you can still come and meet us and hang out for a little bit. The plan is going to be a meetup on Saturday at 1 p.m. Don't fret to remember that. We will make sure we post it in the Discord to remind you in the TwitchCon channel. So be checking that out in case we have to change location or time or anything like that. We'll keep you up to date there. And where we're meeting is a park. It's literally 1 block away from the convention center. And they have a giant Monopoly board.
Nice.
Now, we're not going to be playing Monopoly because they recommend you reserve that thing a year in advance.
That and Monopoly ruins friendships.
That too. And takes 5 years to finish.
Can confirm.
But it's a great landmark. We will be meeting near the Monopoly board. You can find us there at that park. And it's just literally a block southwest of the con. Real easy to get there. I know Baggy, myself, Swat, Duke will definitely all be there at the meetup. Huggy will probably be there. I'm trying to think. Shinny, I'll probably drag Shinny with me.
I'll be on FaceTime with someone. I'm kidding.
Yes. We may
pass the phone around.
IRL.
Pass the phone around.
I want to see everybody.
I'm back. Hello.
We're just gonna hang out, Huggy, meet each other in case that we haven't had a chance to meet Friday. We'll be able to meet whoever we want to, part of the crew, on Saturday. And the reason why we're doing it outside of the con is to kind of get away, but also if anybody doesn't have a badge pass for that day, they can still come and hang out.
Yeah.
If they want to.
Should you get another luggage for souvenirs? Honestly, no. You're only going for like 4 days.
I mean, the better thing you do would be to whatever bag you're taking, pack light in it, so you have room to put stuff in it on your way back. If that's something
you're determined to take stuff back with you, yep.
Right.
So you're only going for 4 days. You honestly shouldn't be packing a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
So make sure you have room for whatever you want to bring back with you, and on your personal bag. If you know that you want to bring a lot of stuff up, like bring a backpack with you and only put your laptop in it so you have all that extra room. And if you want to pack smart, you can also YouTube like packing tips because there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that you can do to save a lot of space, and you're just like, wow, I would have never thought of this, and it's just like something super simple that saves you like 4 inches of space, and you'll be surprised how much you need that 4 inches.
Exactly. And like Baggy just said, if you absolutely find something that you can't fit in your luggage, you can ship stuff home too as a last resort.
Yeah.
Things to think about. If you find a big item that you go shopping somewhere and you find a giant item that you really want to take home, you can always ship it.
Absolutely.
If anybody, because I will be there, and as Mars said, if you feel comfortable having a mod have your information just for safety purposes, shoot me a DM. I'm more than happy to keep that information under wraps and be, you know, a contact if you need someone.
Mhm.
I have no issue with doing that. Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions, thoughts, concerns?
Don't be afraid to meet people, guys. That's
Yeah,
the
it'll be
place to
fun.
do it.
It'll be fun.
Especially with the
Networking
crew
is
talk,
important.
like it's like, and I know not everyone's active in Gen Chat, or that you're more active on Twitch than you are in Discord and vice versa. We're all there for the same purpose. We all know who you are. You all know who we are.
Yep.
We're not scary most of the time.
It's yeah. It's good to and think about how you want to network. The best way to network is to not like force yourself onto somebody because they're immediately going to be turned off by you. Create good conversations, find out what you have in common. And if you do have business cards, you want to get to the point in that interaction where you don't have to give them the card because they will remember you. The card's just an added benefit.
Yep.
But definitely use it to network because you will be standing in lines, whether it's the food line, the merch line, the line to even get in to get your badge. There was a girl that stood in line with us to get the badge. She was with us for probably 2 hours during the con before she had to leave. She was only there for that day because she had to go back to work. She wasn't even a streamer. She was just there to try to meet some streamers. There's a guy that I met. Well, actually, a friend of mine met because of his hair was super crazy colored at the time, and he's now we've been following him. Super nice guy. He's partnered now. There was a guy I met on the airplane. He sat next to me, and we talked the entire flight about Twitch and games and Fortnite because that was just about the time that it came out. So,
Fortnite.
Someone please clip her face. That was so good. I need that in my
Huggy
life.
has a question. This is a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up, Huggy. When you meet a streamer, or anyone for that matter, if it's somebody that you want to get a picture for, do always ask. Always ask if you can get a picture. Don't assume that they're going to take a picture with you. And don't go in for a hug unless they are okay with it and you know that for sure.
Yes. Probably just don't worry about it. Unless they initiate the hug, probably just don't go with
Just
the
don't
hug.
worry about
Just-
it.
Yeah.
A handshake would always be the better way.
Guys. Yeah. And
Some
some people
ways,
might
just
not
don't.
even be okay with handshakes, so just
Just don't.
be polite. Like treat it as like a job interview. You don't know this person. You wouldn't go in and hug your future boss unless they were like, "Come here, brother." I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Robin, I hate you so much right now.
Yes.
Huggy, I
Huggy
also
got it too.
hate you, but that's not a
Yes.
secret.
Right click, open a new window, save.
To
I hate
go
you
with
so
that, photography, videography, everything's allowed in the con, but you should be mindful of the people around you because they might not want to be on stream. So for those who are IRL streaming at the con, just be careful about who you're around. Because again, they may not want to be on your stream. That was an issue last year. There's a lot of complaints about people doing IRL streams in areas and around people who didn't want to be on their stream.
Yeah.
So be mindful of the photos you're taking. If you see a cosplayer, ask them if you can take a picture. Just be respectful. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to someone else. Just be super mindful. So that's all I have about TwitchCon. I want to give a couple quick reminders or announcements. Friday night, we're doing a community Jackbox party night here on this channel. And so hopefully that'll be fun. Come hang out. More details, like specific tart start time.
Tart time.
I'm done.
What is
put
the
in the
50s?
announcements.
Tot.
And then shut it. You butt.
Sorry.
No, you're not. You're so not.
Oh, that.
Next Wednesday, we will not be having crew talk. Don't panic. Don't panic.
This is fine.
Instead, we'll be having our first community charity event. It will start at 8 p.m. Eastern time. For 2 hours, you'll have Bloodhaven Gaming playing some awesome games and raising money. And to follow him from 10 to midnight is Arik the Bearded.
Two super
have-
cool dudes.
Two super cool people.
Get excited.
Have generously offered their time to help us with this. The charity is the oh crap, I always forget the correct lettering of, or the wording of the thing. National Breast Cancer, can't freaking talk. National Breast Cancer Foundation. Holy moly, we'll be doing it through
Nailed it.
Tiltify. Thanks.
Mhm.
Took me what, 5 tries? So yes, the first community charity stream will be next Wednesday instead of Crew Talk, starting at 8 p.m. We'll have. I hate you all so much. I'm done. I'm not talking to any of you ever again.
You just said it with a bit of an accent. It's fine.
It's counselor. Those are my 2 announcements. Thursday tomorrow, we'll have Zero cooking and Brock doing yoga.
Game night will be on Friday, Tatia. Friday.
Yes, Friday night.
And this Saturday, we are still planning to have the Rocket League tournament. As of right now, it'll start at 8:30 p.m. We don't have a ton of teams signed up, so I'm hoping to get a couple more. The last day to sign up is going to be tonight by midnight. So if you guys really want to play, go find your partners. Currently, we have MTD Robin, who is in chat right now. He will be casting. We are still looking also for a co-caster. If you're interested, just send me a DM. I will set you up with Robin. And again, even if you don't have a team, feel free to sign up. We have a couple people who are solo queuing right now. And again, we're just trying to get a couple more teams so that we can have a super fun tournament this weekend. But it will be at 8:30 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. because it's Saturday and we like to party. So, yes.
And Huggy, to answer your question real quick, we may do a Crew Talk sort of thing at the con. A lot of it just depends on if we can make it work wherever we are and can get that organized. As always, follow the announcements in the Discord. We don't ping just to ping, we ping for information in there. So keep your eyes out for that. Mars' favorite thing.
Pings! I've learned to embrace the ping life. It's fine.
Embrace the ping.
It just sucks when I get pinged and I'm doing something at work and I have to scroll through 100 messages to find it. It's I
And
knew
then
it
it's
was
not
in here
anything
somewhere. Yeah, then it was just Mars did this. I'm like,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did do that, didn't I?
It's not so bad on mobile. On mobile, at least you can hit the @ thing and find it. It'll tell you what Discord, what section the ping was in, and actually show it to you. But on PC, you can't do that, or laptop. So
Yep.
You can. It's in the top right corner of the screen. I'm just lazy.
You can.
You can. It just shows you literally.
oh yeah, look, there it is. Wow, that's
It's
hidden
like-
up there.
It's
I
like
have
every
never clicked on
server.
that.
It's like every server ever though that you get tagged in, and sometimes for some reason
All
for
the
me they're
other
not
ones.
not in order. So it just I just have to scroll, and I'm just
Yeah, they're not in
Okay.
order when you do it on the mobile either. So
yeah, I don't like
right on.
I learned something though. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Here
That's
with
all
your
I
tech news.
I think that's all we got.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, don't feel free to hesitate to message any of us, and we will put you to the proper person because I know nothing about TwitchCon. AKA, I'm gonna shove you in News's face and be like, "Help!"
For it on.
I'll take it.
Help! But no, if you guys
Awesome.
have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. There's a ton of information online. I think Mew said she was going to post the link to the convention.
Yep.
And yeah, nobody
Awesome.
leave.
Awesome. All right. Well, to close out here, we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna start a cosplay gallery here from New York TwitchCon this year. We'll let it roll for a few minutes, and then Baggy, whenever you're ready, go ahead and get that raid started. We're gonna raid our man Cooch. I believe he is on playing some. What is he playing? He's playing Black Ops. He's playing something. He's on. We're gonna raid Cooch. He's a featured member of the week. So
Make sure you get your raid emotes, all your hype, everything that's happy and great and beautiful in the world, ready for your chat.
Get 'em ready.
that's all right. All right. And without further ado, let's start that cosplay gallery. Here we go. Oh, that's loud. Jesus. Let's turn that down a little bit. That one's good. I like the Colossus one. It's pretty awesome. It's a little bit scary, but I like it.
These people are hardcore, dude.
Yeah, man. Hope Summers. I like that one. little comic book cosplay for you. I don't know who that is. That's pretty good, Sansa. Oh, Children of the Forest. I like it.
Okay, we already did it. It's over.
Is it over? Okay.
Yep.
Done.
I was like, good, because I couldn't see because I had it full screen, so.
Ruin your cosplay adventure.
No, it's all right. I wanted to end with it. I didn't want to waste a lot of time on it, so it was perfect. Just wanted to show a couple minutes of it. So. All right, let me end my stream here.